Oh, shit.
Damn it.
You got your anthems number.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. It is Joyce Sylvester.
Yeah. If he's making a point, that sucked about his grandfather.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, I won't say it's going to die someday, but you know that whole thing of, saying, hey, it's okay. I've been in that situation. All right, what do you have for Sylvester?
Rigid Industries is his primary. Rigid Industries LED lighting. Rogue Racing and Cooper tires.
Okay, which is first?
Bill Amsoil.
Check.
Well, we're going to do 3.
Okay.
Oh,
Test.
Rogue Racing. Well, this is Sturgis. You know, TV all the time where the storms have rolled in, right? It's the perfect time. But according to the radar, it's not going to last long.
That mic on. So. You know who's doing the invocation? Or the prayer or whatever it is? Yeah. Okay, which one? Chaplain.
The blue and white.
Okay. We're doing the prayer or the national anthem first?
Torc, the off-road championship presented by Amsoil, is fired up and ready to take on the chaos of the one and only Sturgis. This slumbering South Dakota town awakes to madness every summer with a stampede of iron horses. And for the first time, Torc is riding in with their own version of raw power. Drivers bring what they've learned all season to break this fresh track into submission, to tame this beast of the Wild West, and lay claim to this territory with the best in off-road. 600,000 horsepower fanatic road warriors are here to witness it all. Welcome to the nation's premier off-road racing series, Torc, the off-road championship presented by Amsoil.
Welcome, everybody. We're here at the Battle at the Chip, Sturgis, South Dakota for the first time ever. And the excitement we've had all day, yeah, Mother Nature's kicking us right now just a little bit, but the excitement we've had all day has been incredible. And this is one of those fun moments where a first-time event, first-time location, the guys, the teams, the drivers, the sponsors, they're ready to have a blast here this next 2 days.
Not just looking forward today, this week, but months in the year. As soon as the schedule was announced, we knew that Torc, the Off-Road Championship, when they were coming to Sturgis, we knew this would go off in a big way. And from our announced position, we can look out and literally see hundreds of thousands of bikers, but motorcycle enthusiasts that are also going to be off-road enthusiasts at the end of the day.
Well, it's really interesting because I was up this morning like 6:30, 7 o'clock, and so were a lot of the bikers at the hotels in our surrounding area going out on their morning ride, going someplace out in the Rockies, Mount Rushmore, wherever it may be, grabbing lunch, and now they're on their way back. And we hope everybody stops here. In fact, we have quite a crowd already still walking the pit area.
Right, yeah. No, the people are going to be walking in throughout the entire day. It's one of those bucket list things I think everybody says they want to do, but now that you're here, you go, oh my gosh, it's a little bigger than I expected. But it's going to be cool. Some talented drivers here, some new faces we're going to see in different classes today as well.
Yeah, I'm going to start this off by saying first and foremost that today there's going to be history made in short course off-road racing that we've never had before. Not only are we racing at the Chip here in Sturgis for the very first time, but also as we work our way through the race classes, we're going to make an announcement, and I think it'll be pretty plain to see what we'll be talking about soon after this.
Yeah, a couple of new faces. We'll kick things off with the Pro Lights, then the Pro 2-wheel drive, and the Pro 4-wheel drives. In case you're not familiar necessarily with Torc the Off-Road Championship, this is our 11th round of how many do we have? 14 total rounds. So we're coming down to these final few stops and championship battles throughout, but this is going to be a big determining point who's in the points league going to that final 2 rounds in Crandon, Wisconsin.
It's rather ironic that the driver in Pro Light specifically that has got 6 straight wins, going for a 7th, is not our points leader. He's not even second in points. He's third in points.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's going to be a great day, but it's about time.
Well, race fans, as we turn our eyes up towards the Jumbotron and the screen, ladies and gentlemen, now at this time, if we could talk up on top of the starting line, way up on top of the hill, for today's opening ceremonies and today's opening invocation, our representative for the Racers for Christ is Chaplain Gerald Aldridge. Gerald?
Let us pray. Father God, we thank you for this day. We thank that you made this day, and we are thankful for that. Lord, we have an opportunity to come here for a first-time race event at this place. We thank you for Sturgis and just the opportunity to be here. We pray for the safety of each driver and the crew. We thank you for all these people that are here today to watch this event. We pray for their safety as they travel home or travel wherever they're going, to keep them safe. Lord, we thank you again for this precious day and this time. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're just a moment away from hearing the greatest song in the world about the greatest country in the world. But before we have that, now is the time we need to recognize some very, very important people. Some of the most important ones are not here with us today because they made that ultimate choice, that ultimate sacrifice, so we could have our freedom. So we come to Sturgis to the bike rally. So we come here to the Torc Series, first time ever here at the Chip. So we can do what we want to do when we want to do it. They made that choice to put themselves in harm's way so our children don't have to. So what happened just 10 years ago within our borders in New York City never, ever happens again. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about our service people, serving our country within our own borders and all across this globe. They are there to protect our freedom. So our children, hopefully, will never have to do the same. Ladies and gentlemen, please, a big, huge Sturgis style of thank you. A big round of applause for all the service people serving our country, both past and present.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched, we're so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, sing our national anthem. The daughter of Mark Clement, one of our Pro Light drivers, it's Kendra Clement from Bark River, Michigan.
I'd like to welcome everybody watching around the world online, of course through Torc, but all the fans that are here as well that are able to watch on the video board. So we'll be talking to you off-site up the hill just a little ways, but we're about to kick off our first race of the day, but this is far from our first race of the season.
Oh, yeah, there's been a lot of drama built up, working our way into coming here to Sturgis, and you know what? It was just a couple of weeks ago, we were back at the UP, Upper Peninsula of Michigan, at one of the bucket list locations if you're a short course off-road race fan, and here we go with Pro Light.
Yeah, the Pro Light started off, and this is our largest class of the day, and it seems to be the case. The number 7 is out in front. No problems for him pretty much the entire weekend. Get used to seeing that traction 7 in front because nobody could touch Keegan Kincaid.
A little bit further back, Jarrett Brooks, he has been perennial favorite, but not his weekend. He was having all kinds of problems. Always one of the fastest trucks on the track. And there's Luke Johnson, son of Ricky Johnson, pulling into the pits with right front problems.
And there's one of our series points leaders early on in the season, Doug Matag, the 81. He had problems with Park River the first time we were here, and you can see he had Park River number 2 problems as well. Keegan Kincaid takes a victory on the first day. The second day, it was pretty much the same thing for him. He kept a smile on his face the entire afternoon.
As the green flag waves, front row heads into turn 1. Once again, Keegan Kincaid, that tracks number 7, pulls up front, and in tow right with him is young CJ Greaves.
Yeah, CJ, you know, it's been a long time since he got that win way back at the first stop at Prem, Nevada. There's the 15 of Johnson losing a tire, Keegan and CJ getting into it, much like we'd seen the first time we came to Park River. But again, Keegan was just, he was ahead of the field, and he stayed ahead of the field.
And keep this in mind, as he takes a checkered flag, he's won the last 5 races in a row, and is not our points leader. It's simply amazing.
Yeah, as you take a look at those points, you see Keegan back there in 3rd, but he's clawed.
In fact, we got Kelly Snyder trackside with the latest update of what's going on. Kelly?
Well, thanks, guys. Standing up here on this, what was going to be the Land Rush start, but due to this new track, they just wanted to make sure we had these trucks all in one piece so that tomorrow the race fans can experience the same door-to-door banging action that these trucks are going to provide. But we have some newcomers here in the Pro Light class. Jeremy Twitch Stenberg, some of you may know him from Freestyle Motocross, is out here this time. First time back in a truck in 3 years. The guy practiced with the 3rd fastest time, had a first place fastest practice time, and qualified 4th against the stacked field of 20 Pro Light drivers. So this is definitely going to be the class that you want to start out our show with today. But we never know what's going to happen. We are in Sturgis. There's lots of fun and crazy things that happen, but the weather right now seems to be one of them. So hopefully we can get through these races, and then it can rain all at once. But let's get through today's races, guys.
Well, thanks a lot, Kelly. Well, here's our lineup as we're about ready to take the green flag up front. On the inside, it's that Monster Energy Toyota of CJ Greaves. Alongside of him, that number 7 Traxxas entry of Keegan Kincaid on a 5-win race streak.
Jarrett Brooks in there as well as Doug Matag in the 81, Cam Reimers the 21, Jeremy Twitch Stenberg, look for him in the 88. Not the similar colors as CJ Greaves, but not quite the same.
Luke Johnson starting 7th. Alongside him, Sean Morris in the 27. Brad Lovell and Travis Dinsmore starts 9th and 10th in the 44 and 43.
Watch out for Cody Kleiman, Jesse Johnson in the 15, Kyle Kleiman in the 42, Brian Osborne in the 54, and the 8 of Joey Sylvester.
And rounding out the back, let's see, we got Scott Beauchamp in the 20. Andrew Kosak in the 95, Nick Bobcart in the 12, Jake Lundry in the 58, and Ian Harris in the 22. He'll start 20th.
All right, look for those acceleration cones. You'll see 2 orange acceleration cones along this front straightaway, and right there's one of them. At that point, you see Kincaid with a good start. The first turn is a right-hand turn. CJ's going to be set up on that outside.
Yeah, talk about timing it right. I think CJ was kind of caught off guard as Keegan got a great, right at the first orange cone, he accelerated.
But look at the jump, though, that CJ had on that outside. You saw Jarrett Brooks in the 77 sticking nose in there. Doug Matag, dude, he's been fast today. He's been extremely fast in practice and qualifying.
Yeah, the guy that's running in that 3rd spot was really showing his way around in practice. And we're out here earlier yesterday, practiced 3 different times. In fact, we had a couple of casualties, some guys that aren't able to run today because of well, the first time ever on this track, they didn't know exactly how these jumps are going to handle.
Right, you see Jarrett Brooks trying to get inside of Matag there just behind, but you see the number 7 out in front trying to check out Keegan Kincaid. And in Torc, the Off-Road Championship, at the halfway point, they will reset the field the way that they are coming across that checker flag stripe. I also see, was at the peak of Luke Johnson trying to sneak in the top 5.
How about this? They're the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Ooh.
The top 4 are the same drivers have been battling all season long, and right now Keegan could be going into that 6th straight. How about this? A little bit of puff of dust in that final turn, number 9.
I think
Yeah, Matag and Jarrett Brooks, our teammates. Oh, look out! And that's a big drop-off. That's about 8 foot down off that banking. So, man, talk about a job saving that thing. Nice job, Doug Matag.
Matag looked like he was moving into second. Actually dropped back to fourth in that instance. That helped Luke Johnson.
Actually, I think I can't tell if that's Cam Reimers or Ian Johnson or Ian Harris running the top 5. Let's see. Yeah, it's
Brooks.
Hey guys!
Yeah. And what you don't see or understand is these are uphills. This is a downhill section into a left-hand turn.
Yeah, you saw those right front tires kind of up over that berm. If they cut that corner too short or over-rotate, that's about a 20-foot drop down that banking. Now look, we got 3 trucks look like they're locked up on the back of CJ Greaves. Again, running 3rd and 4th. Brooks and Matag are teammates.
Yeah, two teenagers going at it and trying to catch up to CJ Greaves. You want to be in second at that mandatory caution. You want to be in second place. You don't want another guy to worry about. But you see the 2 totally different lines. Brooks on an inside having a hard time getting the drive off of the turn.
And I'm telling you right now, as strong as CJ is looking is running at second, this is only his first race of the day. I'll drop the subtle hint right there. First race of the day for that young driver.
He's going to be busy today. You see Brooks taking a different approach to this track. When talking to the drivers, I was walking around with Grant Langston, and he said he talked to some of the guys yesterday. I think the guys who race motorcycles or have that motocross background are going to have a little bit of an advantage. This looks like a motocross type track, and CJ's one of those guys, but I don't know if Keegan races bikes or not, but he looks like he's, I don't know, Ricky Carmichael right now. He's hauling.
Call him the GOAT right now, at least this year so far.
He looks like that in Pro Lights right now, because, I mean, nobody has anything for him at this moment.
And he's a big guy, too. He's a big kid.
He's getting better traction.
23, 24 years old.
Yeah.
But and look at this. Oh, man.
Oh, Luke got spun around. Luke Johnson getting spun around a little bit.
Is that Matag?
He's hooked up with Matag and just climbing, snuck. So he goes from about 6 to 9.
Meanwhile, that's exactly what that young driver wants to see. Keegan Kincaid, all that ruffle and tussle going on behind him as he starts to pull away. But like you said earlier, keep in mind that there's a competition yellow coming out where there'll be a red flag and a yellow flag being waved simultaneously at the halfway point, somewhere around the halfway point, where we'll slow the field down, the pace will come out and collect the entire field nose to tail for a second half restart.
Don't you think that Keegan Kincaid is smiling huge now? You talked about at the top of the show. 3rd in points. He has some ground he has to make up. He's 15 points behind. He's doing just that if it finishes the way it is, because CJ, not really in the point. He's behind. He's not really in that tight points battle, but he's got Matag back there. I mean, he's got the guys he needs to be behind him. So Keegan Kincaid, the 7 out in front, has 5 wins on the season in a row. Not just 5 in a row of trying to get it going on right now. And he's trying to check out, but you don't want to use up the equipment too early. I don't think, Scott. Take your time, keep that gap, and save a little something for the back half.
Oh, yeah. This sport is, up until about 8 years ago, didn't have a competition yellow. And we would have to basically deal with, once in a while, runaways. Well, it was instituted the competition yellow. Nobody liked it. The fans didn't like it at first. The racers certainly didn't like it at first. But then all of a sudden, we did it anyways, and it all of a sudden
they didn't like it, and we did it anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Is what happened, and everyone fell in love with it except the leader. And also the team started liking it because it added strategy to the first half of the race and the second half. So you guys can, they can set up a truck to run on a dry track, which is usually what's going to happen in the second half of a race, as compared to a wet, soupy track. So it added a lot of strategy to that competition yellow.
That last little left-hand turn, that would be turn 8. That's a tough one. It's downhill, off-cambered, and it will rut up and pothole up just a little bit as Jarrett Brooks really put the pressure on. He's going to have a good drive, and more importantly, he's going to be on the inside of CJ. If he can get another half a truck length, he can push him wide on the track, and there's that half a truck length.
But watch it now, because the advantage in this corner is the outside berm, and Jarrett Brooks goes outside to use that left rear on that berm, and pulls away from CJ, almost all too easy.
CJ tried doing that over and under, and there just wasn't much under.
Nothing there, yeah.
One thing to look at in these Porsches, you see a little bit of dust. That's not a problem. The dust's not a problem. Clumps of dirt, rocks. This is fresh virgin soil here in the Black Hills of South Dakota.
There's a lot of guys in the Midwest, back in Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois, and Minnesota, that love to have this black dirt out there in those fields, because even right across the street, they got cornfields. This is great, fertile land right here.
Right. But one thing about this, and when I got to drive around the track a little earlier, is it will pothole up. You don't see those rolly, braking bumps or acceleration bumps. You start seeing holes, and the equipment, the CAT equipment will go out there and refresh the track. But that is a factor you have to deal with as a racer. It's just part of the track.
And this area, having never been used or raced on, we'll say, there's rocks underneath the surface. When they were still building this track.
Arrowheads.
Rocks. There's boulders that were the size of some four-wheelers out there they were pulling up here the last couple days.
Yeah.
And as CJ comes to us, it looks like it might be
are we at the competition?
Yeah, this might be the comp yellow, yeah. Yep, it is.
If not, he was struggling. But you see the field right there. That's how they'll stack up. You see the 7 out in front of the 77, followed by the 33. We'll step aside for a minute and come back with the pro lights here for the second half.
We had these torrential downpours, and these trucks are not designed to have another 2,000 pounds of mud put on them. And then you pack the radiators tight, the tranny gauge, the water gauge, the oil gauge, everything's pegged. The AMSOIL product came through for us and kept the rear end, the transmission, and the engine all running fine. And I tell you what, we were ready to go for the next day and pretty proud of it.
The fastest name in radio control.
And we're back once again as we get ready to take the green flag. We're at the competition yellow of round 11 of the Pro Light here at Sturgis, South Dakota at the Buffalo Chip Motorsports Complex. First race ever here for the Torc Series, presented by AMSOIL. And, man, there's been a lot, like I said earlier, there's been a ton of excitement here.
Yes, there has been. And now we'll see, does anybody have anything for Kincaid? Was Kincaid pushing it throughout that time? I think Jarrett looked very speedy. I think he's looking racy. CJ, same thing. But I also want to point out the 21 of Cam Reimer snuck into that, that top 5 spot, and he's looking for his best finish of the season as well.
Brad Lovell's right there, and you see Kleiman, you see.
I thought Luke Johnson was fast till he got into it. Matag is the one right there that just exited the screen that's losing a lot of points right now.
Yeah,
he's only 4 points behind the champion.
3 rounds of racing remaining after this race. So there's the green flag. We're back underway.
Jared got a pretty good jump back in second place. He was your points leader at the start of this season.
Now the top 2 trucks are running Cooper tires, so we'll see if that may be an advantage. Maybe one guy's running a different cut than the other. I don't know, but right now it looks like the strong tire on this track are Cooper's.
Cooper Tire Nissan out in front, the number 7 with his 5-win streak, and that Traxxas number 7. That's up there right now. Could it be 6? That would be unprecedented in Torc the Off-Road Championship, I believe. When we move to Pro 2, we'll see CJ Greaves with a 4-win streak in that one. These 2 guys, the last 2 rounds, nobody's been able to touch them.
Yeah, it's kind of makes you scratch your head a little bit. And keep in mind also, in this class in particular, they kind of clamped down on some of the rules that they haven't, I don't want to say haven't been enforcing, but haven't really paid too much attention to, or haven't caught any of the drivers with doing some head work on their motors. And right now, this weekend, they said, okay, flat out, you got these heads, you got to get rid of them, you got to go back to what the rules say.
Look at this, we might have a change for the lead. Remember, this is the same thing Jared Brooks, he lost a little bit of drive there. He was setting up, he found that last turn number 9, that inside worked out really well, and that's how he got by CJ Greaves a little earlier.
Now watch Keegan Kincaid's truck. When that back
he went too wide, he's going to lose it.
Just about off that berm, and here comes Jarrett Brooks the inside. That may be all he needed. Now we'll see if Jarrett Brooks has got enough to pull away from Keegan.
It's one thing to be out in front, but once you get past, you have enough to stay there. In this section, watch for holes. Watch them to try and take a different line. Right there, you see the truck of Brooks just getting kicked up just a little bit. There's just little subtle nuances. Watch the front end. Watch that suspension have to work.
When the suspension's low, whether it be on the front end or the back end, that's where they need it. They need to basically squat the front of that truck to make the corners, to get the front tires to grip. Also the same with the back. When they accelerate, when they nail that throttle, the back of that truck squats down real low. That's when they get the traction off the back tires. And you see that right there with Jared Brooks.
Jared Brooks would be the points leader once again if he were able to win this race. He took that inside line. I think he kind of let Keegan Kincaid know, hey, I'm a little bit faster here. Now Kincaid can maybe move that or do that if Brooks decides to take the outside later on in the race.
Another one of those young drivers, but there's Keegan Kincaid once again. He's not going to make that mistake again. As you see him take a little bit tighter line on the inside. We got a truck off the track there in turn number 1. It looked like one of the Sleeko trucks. I'm not exactly sure if it's Travis Dinsmore or Nick Baumgartner, but one of the two.
Oh, nice.
Off the track. How about that?
Oh, that was perfect.
That was up on 2 wheels, but totally under control.
Yeah, and those outside tires were gripping. They wasn't on 2 wheels and one to high side. They were just clawing for traction. That was perfect.
Greaves back there running in third. Kincaid trying everything to reel in our leader. Once again, that's Jared Brooks. And I cannot emphasize enough.
Oh, bicycles are on sale.
That I don't know if the mics can pick that up, but they got shooting range right across the road here. There's some guys shooting off, some guys shooting off a 50 cal right now.
Yeah, they have, I think, free machine gun shooting.
Whoa. How close he came to that tire, I mean,
it's drifting.
The skill, man.
It looks like he's in Formula Drift or something because he's using it almost like a clipping point. He had been doing that, and I thought the guys behind that time would see that and maybe make that decision and go inside just like he did, but they chose to choose that a little bit farther outside line.
The elevation change. We should have probably gone out there and kind of tried to measure their GPS this. The elevation, let's see what's happening here. We may have a yellow flag.
And for them to be going that slow, it'd be a full course yellow.
There's one truck pulled off. Oh, is that Twitch? Looked like Twitch was, there's a truck in the infield and the driver was out of the truck and ripping off the hood on his own, so I'm not exactly sure who that was.
And Jeremy Twitch Stenberg, of freestyle motocross fame, X Games medalist, racing in the pro lights today here with us. I think he has aspirations to race with us here.
Yeah, he's talking about coming back next year. Yeah.
Next year for the series. He was 4th fastest in qualifying.
Right off the trailer, the guy was fast here.
Yeah, off the trailer, he was top qualifier, and then he's a 3rd. He's still top 4. It's
if that's Twitch that was in the infield, he looks like he's back moving again.
As you I'm not seeing it right there. No, it's not Twitch. It's a blue truck.
Oh, that's Sean Morris, but I was looking a little more to the left. That's Sean Morris. That's probably why the yellow flag came up. Yeah. Now you get a concept of the banking of this track, but then also how far down off the track that is. That's about a 20-foot drop off the track and down to the
facing the
grass.
wrong direction right there.
See Kincaid running in 2nd, Greaves in 3rd, 4th. I want to say that's Cam Reimers.
Yep. Reimers Lovell should be following. Luke Johnson.
Cody Kleiman.
Matag Johnson.
Mark Kleiman.
You know, now that
Joe Sylvester.
Did not see.
There's 18-year-old Brian Osborne. How about that story of that kid? 2 guys, 18 years old, all on their own, from California, but living in Crandon right now.
Having fun with
in a shop, yeah.
What was
living the dream, man.
His Facebook, what was he doing, like an East Coast style?
Oh, yeah, they're wearing the hats.
A Midwest style versus West Coast
flat
bill.
This is how we wear the flat bills in California, and this is how we wear the baseball hats in Wisconsin.
Yeah, you have to have proper bill etiquette.
It looks like, if I recognize that fire seal, it looks like the Sleeko truck that pulled off the track earlier, a lap or 2 ago. That was.
And there's Twitch. I was going to say, we still have not seen.
Oh, the window net's down. He's going to have to come in. If he can't get that up on his own, which I doubt, it doesn't even look like he's trying.
Yeah, he's trying to come down to that front straightaway, but this would be where he'd pull off over on that section.
So there's a good shot of the running order. Jarrett Brooks, Keegan Kincaid, C.J. Greaves. Now's when it's kind of cool. I wish I was inside the truck, or at least had a radio.
I always wish I was inside that
truck. Just listening to the communication going on between the drivers and their spotters. Meanwhile, we should mention the spotters have not a bird's eye view of this racetrack. It's an eagle eye view way at the very top, very top of this hill.
They're going to have a hill climb event here just to our right later on this week, a North American hill climb event. I saw Team Peterson lined up over there to the side. They're the bad boys of the hill climb. A small hill for them this week. It's nothing like the Widowmaker, I'll put it that way.
Well, we're going to see right about now if we got a left-hand turn and a straightaway and a right-hand turn.
Turn 9. That turn they're just exiting, though. I mean, there's
off camber big time.
Off camber, and you saw those little Jersey barriers or whatever piled up to it, and a big drop off on that side. But you've got to get it right. I saw Ari Leindyke Jr. two-wheeling it over in that section, but that's one of the toughest corners, I think.
But we've seen him do that every week.
Track. Yeah, that's part of the program.
Here we go, back to the green. Jared Brooks controls the field. Now watch your eye. Watch for that first yellow cone. As soon as Jared Brooks hits that first yellow cone, he can accelerate on his own anytime he wants.
Look at
up
Keegan.
to the flag man. There's that yellow
Keegan's
cone.
all up in his business. Good timing.
Yeah.
Great job by Keegan Gate. He's actually going to land in the back of him.
There's our flagman waving the green.
So,
That's Space Desney out of Crandon.
Oh,
man.
I told you, he's going to get
There it is. He upset the suspension so that Brooks goes to the outside, but Keegan could not get anything to stick on the inside line.
I think as long as you stay inside that berm, that's the fast line. It's if you get those two wheels popped outside that berm, you're done for.
I haven't really seen anybody make any passes except for that one corner, though. And now keep in mind, this track has never been raced on before, so this is like a virgin dirt, I guess you could say, that isn't really worked in yet.
Learning, you see right there, Keegan Kincaid trying to take that drastic inside line where Jarrett was farther outside. Yes, inside is shorter, but sometimes, especially with an uphill, you have
Brooks
to have momentum.
Slowing? Or is there another yellow flag
It
out?
looks like another yellow.
Oh, Sean Morris is still hung up.
And again, we don't have line of sight to almost all of the course. The left-hand side of the course, we can get a blink of them. So we are doing this again through our cameras and camera work that's high above.
I just wonder. I mean, they already knew that Sean Morris was there, so I'm wondering if they didn't like the restart and just waited half a lap to throw the refill.
They got a green. When you don't like the restart, throw some other green, right?
So we're going to do it one more time.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but I do know that Keegan was all up in Jarrett's business.
Oh, gosh,
And then Jarrett made one little hiccup somewhere on that straightaway, and I thought he was going to land in the back of him. And it was Keegan who got the bad end of that deal in Charlotte?
Yeah. Torc make is a mistake like that. So this is in the hot pits right now as well. I see somebody in the hot pits. But 2, 4, 6 spot back. That's Doug Matag. He might be going back another spot. But
Off-Road Championship would kick things off with the Pro Light out there right now. Good to see him, though.
Yeah, yep, it sure is.
The elder of the clan, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let's see again. Remember, the 7 was all up in the business of the 77 earlier and got a great jump. Let's take a look at this. The second half, we had a caution flag.
Here we go. Look at Keegan right on that bumper.
There's a good jump by Jared Brooks, but right around here is when he lost it last time. Keegan gets good mid-range drive.
Yeah, I know that Kincaid's had a lot of work, a lot of testing done with torque converters. So he's got the gearing figured out, but then, oh man, that corner's been biting him a little bit.
Yep, and CJ Greaves just behind trying to move into second. Jared Brooks, Keegan Kincaid, CJ Greaves, Cam Reimers, I believe, in fourth. So he's moved up a spot.
We watch Jared Brooks work his way around. Kincaid, Greaves right there, Reimers, Matag. Did I see Matag in the top 5?
I think you did. He's fast. I don't know what to say. If he did, that means he got by Luke Johnson somewhere in those first 2 turns. And yes, I believe that is. And Johnson drops back 2 more spots.
Oh, Brooks is airing it out big time. You got to understand there's 2 jumps going down that hill into that left-hand off-camber turn. And they really skied off that first one.
More importantly, you see when he skied going downhill, he decided to take that inside line. If you go inside in that left, it's going to take you wide. We know what's outside of that wide left-hander. Nothing, a big drop-off. So he has to hit it right each time.
Turn 1, real tricky. Here comes Kincaid. Now went from about 3 truck lengths back now to about a truck and a half. So let's see. Looks like Reimers may have gotten around Brad Lovell in about 4th or 5th spot just a moment ago. Again, Jared Brooks, Keegan Kincaid. This is the story right here. These 2 drivers And we got another truck on its side. I'm not exactly sure who that is right there. Right at the entry of that right-hand corner. Oh, man, they're 3 wide to the corner. Brad Lovell, Luke Johnson, and Cody Kleiman, as there's a big-time battle a little bit further back. There's Brian Osborne now going after Jesse Johnson. Osborne will go inside Johnson to that left hand. Off, cannot emphasize the angle of off-camber that is.
Yes, and the downhill heading into it. And Jesse Johnson having some problems going down.
And another yellow flag, it looks like.
So we have not seen the white come out yet. So we still have at least one more lap to go.
There's a good shot of the man that's got the sweet wrist. Waving the flags not only for the whole entire Torc series, but every time we hit the stop at Crandon, his hometown.
Is that what he's going to put on his business card, the man with the sweet wrist?
Yeah, or we can call him Faye Sweet Wrist Stesney. We got Joey 2 Chains.
I'm not calling him that.
Sylvester.
You're Scott Purple Rain.
Oh, no.
Is
that Ian Harris?
Yeah, that's Ian. His teammates haven't getting. He must have some hot water or some flame going on there because he was trying to get out of there in a hurry.
No, see, Ian Harris is really tall and skinny, so.
Ooh.
And
well, yeah, we got that on camera. When you're hot like that and you don't know where it's coming from, I mean, they're all using fuel. It's not alcohol, so you'd be able to see a flame. But just say it's boiling water. Yeah, when it's boiling water on the stuff and stuff, you know, in that fire suit, it's gonna get you out of there in a hurry.
See, there's something interesting right there. We got Ian Harris off the track, but you saw one of our track guys pulling the right rear fender of. Let's see, there it is, the white fender. That's off of. Let's see, Brad Lovell's truck.
Good thing he parked it or threw it next to that Amsoil, so starting to see some guys dropping out of this field.
Yeah, I think we're seeing a lot of
20 to start.
A lot of action like this due to the reason there's a lot of these teams. None of these teams have any notebooks or anything to rely on as far as having run here in the past. It's talk about a level playing field for every single team. No one has ever tested here. No one's ever raced here because it's a brand new track. So everyone starts from scratch.
And I think it's also a racer's track. You're not going to be able to hold it wide open on this track and power your way through these turns.
Oh, wow.
It's not going to happen.
Look how Sean Morris is absolutely buried. No wonder he couldn't get out of there. He is up. Oh, and the left front is pointed in the wrong direction. So, yeah, tough break for.
I thought they'd be able to pull him out to this side, just pull him down that hill. But yeah, this is not Mark Herbert's
This
fast.
is like a Glen Helen motocross outdoor nationals track.
Yeah, but with the uphills and down, not near that aggressive or that steep, but yeah, compared to what they've seen this year, it is like that with all the holes, but we haven't seen that many off-camber with steep downhills. If you did, there was smooth.
Here we go back for the start. Here comes up. Not quite as severe of a start for Kincaid as last time. Still right there, though.
Now you see Doug McTagg back in fourth. That's the guy to look for. Remember, he's second in points. He's in fourth place just behind C.J. Grease. Jared Brooks, the series points leader, is trying to hold off Keegan Kincaid. Kincaid going to the inside, but this is Jared's best turn. He hangs that front tire, that front right, over that right inside.
He makes that truck so wide. You couldn't even pass him on the outside if you wanted to. He's got that thing pitched sideways so far.
He makes up ground in that, and that's a tough turn.
There's a rut foreman right there. Oh, McTagg! He goes outside of C.J. Grease for third.
Who says there's no passing zones in this track? He just showed you that there is. Let's see what he has for Keegan Kincaid. He was fast earlier and got into it with Luke Johnson. Now he does the same thing. He rests that right front on the inside, that top off.
It's almost like it's an anchor. You throw that right front over the edge.
Let it pivot.
Yeah, exactly.
Brad Lovell starting to sneak into the picture now, trying to get in that top five or barely into that five.
And the rain is starting to come down just a little bit more. Even though there's blue skies out, we've got the rain is coming down probably a little bit more than we've had the entire race. So this is going to make the track even greasier now.
Yep. We're going to see some.
There's the white flag. 1 lap remaining.
We're going to see some pirouettes for sure here in a hurry if this thing doesn't get over with, because it is coming down much stronger. Looking on the inside, looking for traction. I think the best line was Jarrett. Look, Keegan Kincaid cannot find grip.
They are tiptoeing around this track.
They are really slowing down. I'm assuming Now that is an uphill. No, there is no yellow. That's just an uphill with no traction.
Oh, the window net's down. Jared Brooks, our leader, his window net is down.
But what happens on the last lap when that happens? Because you can't pull over in a black flag.
He's it doesn't matter. He's got to come off the track.
Yeah, but he comes off at the checkered flag, so that would be the end of the race. If it's going to come down, that's the one to do it on.
So let's see what he's doing. So was that the checkered? That may have been the checkered flag. Jared Brooks taking the win. Matag, I believe, finished in 4th. Or is it? From our vantage point, it's very hard to see. But we've got a bunch of trucks on the track. There goes Matag.
Where do you want me to go?
Off the track. Damn it. Was that the checkered flag? You know what? I believe that was checkered flag, as we got all kinds of safety vehicles and track crew on the track. So Jared Brooks will take the win.
So the white must have been the checkered, or they counted those. They counted those laps. We'll try and get some word, and our girl Kelly Snyder is down there with the scoop. Hopefully here in a little bit. We're gonna step aside for a little bit. High fives for Jared Brooks.
Emergency safety crews depend on their gas-powered equipment to start when they need it. That's why they use VP small engine fuels, formulated with no ethanol to prevent fuel system damage and ensure easier starts. Designed for both 2- and 4-cycle engines. Try VP small engine fuels for your gas-powered tools so they'll start when you need them. Order online at homedepot.com or visit your local dealer.
Once again, we're back here at the Buffalo Chip, actually right across the
campgrounds
street, the
from
road,
it, yeah.
And as we get ready for a podium interview with our top 3 finishers in the Pro Light, let's turn over to Kelly Snyder down at the podium with our winners of our first race of the next 2 days of racing. Kelly?
There. First time here on this track. How slick was it, Jarrett? What a great race that was, but really difficult to just stay on all fours, I bet.
Oh, yeah, that last lap, I almost threw it away. I felt the rain come down on my visor, and I did just try to hold it together. I knew Keegan was just going to be right there, and the track was just awesome. These guys put really good effort in this track, and this track's so much fun. These Cooper tires were hooking up in the rain, and just it was a blast. I'm pumped to get this win and finally stop Keegan from his streak. And Synergy Electric, Maxima, Fox, and COD, my whole family, and Cooper Tire, and everyone who helps me out. Thank you.
Well, guys, we'll catch up with second and third right after this, but give it up one more time for our first place finisher, 16-year-old Jared Brooks.
Thanks a lot, Kelly. And there's a beautiful shot of the racetrack as we look, I believe that's west by southwest, with the mountain in the background, the Black Hills. And you could get a very good concept of the black dirt that's here. If I was a farmer, this is the kind of stuff I'd want in my property.
Yeah, I like the loamy. I'm a loamy guy. I grew up with black dirt, like black gumbo dirt around Dallas. It's no fun on my end. Not for motocross tires, at least. But you see the cat equipment down there reworking it.
Well, once again, let's take a quick break. We'll be back with our second and third place interviews with Kelly Snyder at the podium. And like I say, we'll be back in just a moment.
Before you get in, Get going. Get gone. You need to get a tire that gets you. A tire like Cooper's revolutionary new CS5 with premium touring innovations for the way real drivers really drive. That's real life performance. Because life's a road trip. Come on, let's go.
So here at the Buffalo Chip in Sturgis for Torc the Off-Road Championship, the pro lights have just completed. Kelly Snyder is down with our podium winners.
Well, thanks, guys. I'm going to make this short so we can see the rest of the races. Talking about the rest of the races, Pro 2 for you. You really got a good feel for how that track's going to be and how those tires need to be going onto the track for the next race, right?
Yeah, the rain definitely got it. It got super slippery at the end, and we just didn't have it today. We were a little bit off in the race, and we were right there in qualifying, but I guess we missed something with the rain. So just thanks to everyone coming out, my family, the Lord for keeping me safe, Monster, Toyota, Maxxis, Forest County, Potawatomi, MagnaFlow, Sturgis, all you guys for coming out. Thanks a lot.
Well, for the Torc followers, they know that they've been anticipating this Pro 4 CJ for the first time in a race. What are these fans going to expect with you racing all 3 races? What does that take from you?
I'm young. I got this in me, but we're just going to go out there and keep our head down and hopefully put on a show for you guys.
Well, guys, give it up. 3rd place finisher, the Monster Energy Toyota CJ Greaves. And moving on over, he had 5 pro light wins in a row, but this 16-year-old ended that streak. But you were putting it on Jarrett. You were really trying to make the pass. How tough was it out there to get past him?
You know, it started raining early, and it let up a little bit, and I made a mistake in this turn 1 over here and let Jarrett by me. And, you know, that's what you need to do to get a pass here, and Jarrett took advantage of it, and he didn't make a mistake to let me back by. But, you know, can't thank my team enough. You know, we were a little bit off in qualifying and stuff, and we're just happy to be up here again. You know, give it up to Jarrett for ending my streak, but Cooper Tire teammate up here, and this Traxxas truck has been running good. You know, all these races, all the last 6 races has just been on point, and then, you know, hopefully we can step back up there.
Well, your dad races a Pro 2, and he had a pretty bad crash in yesterday's practice run. You're going to be filling in for him in Mike Jenkins' Pro 2. Are you excited? What are your feelings about that?
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely excited. You know, it's a new adventure for me, and definitely a different animal than a pro light, and I'm pretty comfortable in it already, and I can't wait to get out there and battle with guys like CJ and Chad Horde.
And compared to the pro light, these trucks are unlike anything these fans have seen, right?
Oh yeah, you know, the pro lights will look rough compared to what you're about to see. So stay seated, and I hope we put on a good show for Sturgis out here.
Well, guys, give it up. Your 2nd place finisher, Keegan Kincaid. And once again, the man on top, Jarrett Brooks. Just tell us about what it's like being out here at Sturgis as a 16-year-old. This probably isn't an experience racing at the chip that normal 16-year-olds get to have.
Oh yeah, I would have never thought, you know, us racing at such a big event, and to come here during bike week, you know, that's awesome. And then these guys built an awesome track, and then to come out here and win in the rain, it feels pretty good to be back up on top spot and Keegan's streak. So, you know, the team Cooper Tire has always been on top this year, so can't thank them enough. Maxima, Fox, Replay, and Rigid, and my whole team, you know, COD, my family, and just everyone who helps me out. I'm super pumped to get this win again.
Well, congratulations. Guys, give it up one more time for our Pro Light podium. In 3rd place, CJ Greaves, Keegan Kincaid, and the man on top, Jarrett Brooks.
Once again, congratulations to our top 3 finishers. And there's the best part of finishing a top spot.
Yeah.
Attaboy, Jarrett.
Taylor and the Traxxas girls. You're 16 years old. Enjoy it. And we got to see it here. In my blindness, thought that was the white flag, but he saw checkers, and it's sure like he was still pushing after. You're taught to race through the checkered flag. He definitely did just that.
Oh, well, you know what? The interviews are done. Celebrating is going to go on just a little bit longer, but in the meantime, let's take a quick break as we get ready for our next race of the afternoon, and that is Pro 2.
Ready.
Drive.
And 90 degrees up on 2 wheels.
Fly. Dominate. Celebrate. MagnaFlow.
What is Monster? It's killing tires on the ultimate gymkhana course. I'm Ken Block, and I am Monster.
And we're back here at the Buffalo Chip at Sturgis, South Dakota. You can see Pro 2 getting ready to warm things up and get underway for the parade lap and take the green flag. We're going to amp it up just a little bit. I guess you'd say we could double the horsepower. 2-wheel drive, full-size trucks. And how about that? We got Johnson on the inside. We've got, I think that's Nick Tyree on the front row as well. So it's going to be very interesting. A couple of California boys.
Yeah, and just like in the Pro Lights, these guys are in a tight points battle as well. And we look back at the last round. We were in Bark River twice this year, but Bark River number 2, some exciting racing in the Pro 2-wheel drive.
Now Bark River is located in the northern peninsula of Michigan, and there's a green flag. Look how green everything is there. You see C.J. Greaves and Mike Jenkins on the front row going into turn 1. Little contact, but that's off-road. Jenkins will take the whole shot. Still has the lead, but look at this. They get hooked up, and the teammates. You got Jeff Kincaid and Mike Jenkins.
Both of them got the bad end of that deal, but nobody got as bad a deal as Ari Leindock Jr. Watch this.
Again.
Front right sticks to the ground, and his one-handed double face auger with the twist. Said he got into some contact with Jenkins, and look at that whole right
No
side.
right front of any kind.
And when he came over that hill, and there was no right front there.
Yeah. And he kind of messed up his left front or left shoulder again from earlier in Prim. And C.J. Greaves goes on to take the win.
That was his 3rd win in a row in the first day of Bark River, but you don't see him in the picture.
There's day number 2. Day number 2 at the start.
But he comes back hard quickly.
Jared Johnson had a great start to this race. It looked like it might have been his day to finish on the podium for the first time.
Yeah, that was the best we'd seen him drive all year. These two got together just like they did at Bark River 1. But, again, back-to-back victories, just like we saw in Pro Lights. This time it was C.J. Greaves. And instead of Keegan Kincaid, like we saw in Pro Lights, these guys ready to fire it up again. Steve Barlow in the Cat Machine number 2. Yeah, Jarrett Johnson looked the best we've seen him, period.
Oh, and the thing is, those guys, the entire crew, everybody from his dad, Jarrett, Jesse, and all the crew guys work so hard, and they are so due for a podium spot.
Now, I said Jesse earlier was the one that had gotten a wreck. Was it Jesse or Jarrett that had rolled in practice yesterday?
That was Jesse.
Okay, so that was Jesse. So Jarrett doesn't have those negative connotations coming out here.
And there's the points. There's the points for Pro 2 as they stand right now. And C.J. Greaves has a pretty sizable,
substantial,
over Chad Horde. Can't keep him out at any round of racing.
No.
He looked really good in practice and qualifying today.
Now, Jeff Kincaid, we will not see him here today.
No, in fact, you see the number 4 out there, but that will be Keegan actually driving. Here's the interesting story with that.
Yeah.
Jeff's truck is wadded up pretty bad. They couldn't get that taken care of. So that is actually Mike Jenkins' chassis, or Mike Jenkins' truck. They put Mike Jenkins' body on it, but Jeff Kincaid's number. So the points stay with the number with Keegan as
driving. Very simple.
Yeah.
Very simple. Keegan's going to be out there in the number.
And in practice, I don't know if you saw it today, he actually wheelied his way through the rhythm section.
Nice.
And the front tires never touched the ground all the way through there. Man, that thing looks so strong.
I did not
I think
see
you might
that.
see a future Pro 2 driver, maybe as early as 2015, parked right now in that number 4.
He was wheeling pretty good in that Pro Lights as well, just not quite good enough. About a few more minutes to go. We'll run through the guys in this Pro 2-wheel drive. Justin Keener well, actually, no, I was looking through the last one. Yeah, Justin Keener signed up on here out of Iowa. Should be picking up the field, the number 3. But I think we're going to step aside for just a moment, come back. When we will do that, it'll be the Pro 2-wheel drive starting grid here in Sturgis, South Dakota. We're just outside the famous chip.
Start the cameras. All right, stand up on the exterior step.
Husqvarna's latest innovation is based on a simple fact. The Earth is not flat. Its hills, valleys, and uneven terrain inspired Husqvarna to create a line of all-wheel drive mowers that help make easy work of any mowing challenge. The Earth isn't flat, but with a Husqvarna all-wheel drive mower, it sure could feel that way. Find the all-wheel drive mower at your local Husqvarna dealer and Lowe's.
AMSOIL, the official oil of the Torc series. Whether you drive off-road, on-road, on the trail, or on the water, AMSOIL is for any engine. Visit AMSOIL.com to learn more. AMSOIL, the first in synthetics. And as you look around this racetrack, there's one piece of equipment, one brand, and only one brand that could pull off building this racetrack the way it was, and that is CAT. If you operate skid steers, wheel loaders, bulldozers, or backhoes, if you do, well, do what Torc did. Rent or buy dependable CAT equipment and generators from your local CAT dealer. With a location near you, Caterpillar offers the most productive and fuel-efficient equipment on the market today, and at a price you can afford. And don't forget about Cooper Tires. They are an official series partner of the Torc Off-Road Championship. Stop by the Cooper Tire display where you can find free t-shirts, hats, backpacks, and more. You can also win a set of Cooper Tires by following all the live updates on Twitter at Team Cooper Tire. It's all brought to you by Cooper Tires. Life's a road trip. Come on, let's go.
It looks like they're starting to roll off the line for the Pro 2-wheel drive in this one. Starting back in 10th, Justin Keener out of Iowa on that Champs Pans Maxxis Tires Chevrolet. Jesse James out of El Cajon, California in the 55 on the Cooper Tires machine, one to look for.
He's also got Jesse James firearms on the side of that door, so that's going to be kind of cool to see. Andy Zipper's out there in the Cooper Tires entry, number 76, and Ari Leyendijk Jr. in the Gunk Genius Tires, Cooper Tires, number 25.
Series points leader going to be starting in 6th, the number 33 out of Wisconsin on the Monster Energy Maxxis Toyota. CJ Greaves has won 7 out of the 10 races so far this year.
Keegan Kincaid is out there for the first time in a race in a Pro 2, running for his father in the number 4. Traxxas Cooper Tires, CrandonOffroad.com entry. Chad Horde out of Felch, Michigan. Always strong. Keep your eye on that Boss Snowplow AMSOIL Maxxis Tire number 9.
Steve Barlow on that CAT entry number 2. Look for him out of Temecula, California on the CAT Realtree Outdoor Energy Maxxis Tire 4. Jarrett Johnson, another one to look for. He'll start 2nd in the 74, also out of Southern California, out of El Cajon, and that Husqvarna Chevrolet Maxxis Tire entry.
And finally, the independent. He's been struggling all year long, and there's nothing more that kid would need than to get on the podium here this afternoon. Out of San Diego, driving the Tyree Motorsports Diffenbaugh Construction Maxxis Tire number 91, Nick Tyree.
So they'll take the shortcut down towards that front straightaway again. They have to wait inside that acceleration zone.
I got to throw it out right now for some of the fans that may want a rain poncho, or I believe it's basically a garbage bag with a hood.
Yeah.
But there's a Dan Vanderbilt, the Flying Dutchman, has got a whole bunch of those things. So if you're sitting out there and looking for something to stay dry with, go on the far right corner, just adjacent to the
food concessions.
Yeah, there you go.
Right near the, I think he's across from the food concessions almost.
So Vanderbilt got some of those rain ponchos for sale. Also want to give a shout out to Ron Stukenberg, enjoying his retirement up there in the hills of Tennessee. Former motorsports director for Nissan. Wish you could be here, Ron. Miss you at the racetrack, but I hope you're enjoying yourself sitting in front of the fireplace probably up in the hills of Tennessee.
He's wishing it were that cool, I'm sure. Right, it's probably hot. Nice and cool here. What, temperature in the 70s?
It's absolutely perfect right now. Now keep your eye on that first orange cone as Jarrett Johnson controls the field. You got Nick Tyree alongside. Green flag is out there. Oh, man, 3 wide down the front straightaway.
But look at Chad Hort on the outside. Watch the red truck. He's going to be set up on that outside. We know there's been more grip there, but Johnson, there goes Tyree down. Had the whole shot, just worked his way through the pack unofficially. That's only one direction, that's backwards. It was a slow rollover. He had the start, and he didn't want to go wide, and he just overcooked that inside turn.
Yeah. Woo. That sounds like a full course yellow's coming out because that's a bad spot. Right now, with that little bit of rain, it's making that track real greasy.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not like rain on a fluffy track where you know those grooves can make a big difference. You have rain on a hard, slick track with rubber on there. I mean, it's like ice, literally. It's like somebody putting, Wesson oil down on the shopping, floor at your grocery store.
So I'm wondering if we'll go back to a complete restart. Like you said, it looked like a very slow, gentle rollover. So if they can get Nick Tyree back on his wheels fast enough, he may be able to get fired back up and get back in this race, which would put him back on that front row.
Yep.
But we'll
not if he
find out.
caused it. If he caused it, it'll put him in the back.
Well, here's the deal, though. We never completed a lap. So we have this debate. Not you and I, but I'm saying, they have that debate all the time about how to do it. Hey, Louie. There's Big Louie from the Wild Man. Okay, that's not a bad thing as long as there weren't any flames. Okay. He's on his wheels, but is he buried in a swamp? Is it dry enough to, it looks real swampy right there. Whoa. Boy.
Places to go.
Boy, for such a gentle rollover, look at the cosmetic damage.
Where he gets to end the one, and I know there's a possibility also guys are looking at the guys on the restart too, because you cannot pass somebody until you make that first jump. Right?
Actually you have to stay right in line. If you're in the second row, you got to stay right behind the guy in front of you, and you can't pull out. You can't even peek.
Right.
That's a big thing. They always say you can't even peek out the side. So now we'll see if they're going to allow Nick Tyree to retake that front row position. Looks like everything's just cosmetic. I mean, that's a very loamy, very soft spot where he rolled over. But, gosh, now he pulls off the track. Boy, the visor's still down, so he may have some sort of mechanical issues.
He might feel something. Like I said, that puff of smoke, I mean, he might have a sound. Something just doesn't feel right or sound right. Don't tear up the truck where you have a chance to run it tomorrow. It's two events. This is round 11 and 12.
He may have just pulled off to the side, waited for the pace truck to catch up to him.
And pull back across.
Yeah, and then pull in right behind.
Maybe.
Or not.
Yeah, no,
he might pull into the back of the pack.
I can't imagine being out in front, rolling it, and then letting him start back on front. And you're the one that causes the yellow, so it'll be curious, but it's up to the USAC officials. So we'll see if Nick Tyree does pull in there, and it looks like that's going to be the case because we've just got one truck on the front row now. Period.
And there's Nick Tyree pulling into the back.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad he's back into the race. That's the whole thing.
So you're saying there's a chance, in the words of Dumb and Dumber. So you're saying there's a chance. That's all. That's all.
1 in 10 million. Yeah.
So you're saying there's a chance. So now they get to go side by side. Steve Barlow got the better end of that deal.
Yeah. Nice jump by Jarrett.
Got to stay.
A little bit of advantage.
So we've seen Keegan Kincaid on the inside of that second row. Chad Hort, who got
another
a good
push.
And another over. Stay on it. You're still going to come out in front. No, but still staying on it. Good job by Johnson.
Pulls out just in front of C.J. Greaves. Now it's a side-by-side battle.
Keegan's learned something.
Keegan, yeah.
Keegan learned something in that pro light race. Guaranteed.
Oh, yeah. And the thing is, you can make up for a lot of mistakes with horsepower.
Keegan learned that inside line, and he saw Jarrett Brooks do it, and he did it to some extent as well. He learned and went to school on that pro lights, and it's really paying off in the pro too. Look at Chad Hort. He's on it, isn't he?
I think this may be Chad Hort's day. The way he was in practice, but there's something about that points leader, CJ.
Yeah.
I mean, once he can get his...
he's looking for 5 in a row. I think there's something.
needless way through here.
Yeah, CJ's up to third now. Remember, CJ Greaves started in 6th. That's got to be a tough, slippery turn, that bottom left-hander.
I think the track is going to be perfect in about 6 laps. We're going to have a perfect track right now.
It's going to be perfect in 6, or you think it's perfect now?
No, I don't think it's perfect now. It'll be like probably 5 or 6. But I had a chance to talk to Johnny Greaves earlier this morning and talk about CJ, and he kind of snickered to himself as we were talking that, maybe CJ was actually listening when he was a little kid and not just off.
Yeah, doing his own thing and not paying attention.
It's like, I think some of his ability, some of that talent is even surprised or has surprised Johnny to a certain degree. And he kind of says, maybe he actually kind of was watching every once in a while. But then he'd go off and disappear and start playing again.
Hey, he was a kid. Look at this. CJ Greaves, the fastest guy on the track. You like the way that Chad Horde looked in practicing today? CJ is the fastest. I'm here to tell you now. And if Chad Horde...
So, Chad...
get past.
Yeah, Chad Horde, he likes to hang out. He'd be like a fantastic sprint car driver, I think. The way he just loves to pitch that thing sideways in the corners. But while you're doing that, you're also scrubbing off a little bit of speed. Meanwhile, CJ's a little bit more calculating, I guess you'd say. Oh, yeah. Oh, man! Door handle. Yeah. Chad Horde came in there and did the MMA slide job to the inside of Keegan Kincaid and takes the lead. Kincaid falls back to second. Now that CJ saw that, will he try the same thing as Chad slides out to a certain degree, bounces that left rear off that dirt berm, and maintains the point?
By you because you're being conservative. I think that was his time to pounce, and he showed that he was fast, just like you'd said, but now was the time. Look at CJ trying to square it up early and take those inside lines.
Yeah, I was about to mention CJ right there because he's been in one race so far, but on one podium. He's in a second race. Can he make it a second podium? Because for the first time in short course off-road racing history, one driver will be in all 3 pro classes, and today will be that day, and it's going to be CJ Greaves. Incidentally, he's starting in the second qualifying spot. This morning, he qualified second in his first qualifying session
Behind
ever.
only
His dad. So you're going to have the Greaves boys. And the thing is, there's a 6-spot inversion in Pro 4 today. So they're going to be starting in row 3 side by side.
Number 9.
Look at the lead Chad Horde has extended. Probably a 20-car length lead.
Yep.
In all actuality, yeah, this is his first race against Keegan, so it's kind of, to a certain point, it's untried.
Showing him the lights, but now that he's got different machinery under him, it's going to be a little different. But if you're Keegan, you're loving more horsepower. The ability to put that truck in place, you can't go with the lights.
In practice this morning, he was like a wild man in Pro 2. He was just absolutely just hanging it out and traction everywhere. And like I said earlier, wheeling through the rhythm section. At this point, I'm kind of thinking CJ maybe uncharacteristically for a young kid showing a lot of patience. I think he's going to play that halfway point flag.
I don't think he needs to get in second place because I don't think you can hang where you're at right now.
He'll go for it if the opportunity's there, but he's not going to make the opportunity, Chad Horde maintains the lead in that Boss Snowplow Amsoil number 9. Going through turn number 1 has bitten just about every driver out there at one time at least. Just tiptoeing through that corner. I predict a change in that corner overnight before tomorrow's racing.
I mean, that's an instance, though, I think you've just got to be aware and you've got to adjust to it. I mean, the times we saw them go over, it's been their fault.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they weren't pushed or knocked over. They just overcooked a turn. That can happen anywhere. I think there has to be consequences in motorsports like this. You have to always have consequences. There's nothing of problem on the outside of that turn. You just got to pay attention.
Well, if nothing else, I might make it a little bit wider. But
maybe.
We've
seen passes there.
Well, the thing is, they have to tiptoe to that corner to such a severe degree that it kind of takes away a ton of their speed. It's almost like we're ice racing right now instead of dirt racing.
Oh, definitely when it gets slippery. Yeah, you're just trying to.
Man, our top 3 trucks all push at the entrance to that final corner, turn number 9. as Keegan, his first race ever in Pro 2, subbing for his dad, Jeff Kincaid. Did you have a chance to look at his truck after yesterday's wreck?
No, I heard it.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Pretty.
I kind of wonder how he got out of that thing. It was pretty bent
Carefully.
up. Yeah.
Carefully. So are we seeing the patience out of CJ Greaves, the kid who's won 4 in a row in the Pro 2-wheel drive division? So is that the case? He has a points lead, but you know he wants to win. He wants to keep that streak alive. And it's a lot easier to keep that streak alive if he moves into second before this competition. Caution is going to be coming out here shortly.
Yeah, the corner, you watched a great shot of CJ. He had to set the brakes up like 2-3 times in that last corner to try to get that truck to rotate. So right now he's still trying to figure out how to get that back of that truck out from behind him to rotate to the corners. Meanwhile, Chad Horde, sprint car style, hanging it out. A little bit of a push for both Keegan and CJ in that corner.
CJ had big push.
Yeah, he went way outside in that corner.
Yeah, when you go inside like that, you only have outside to go. You're outside, you can maybe give it a pivot and dive underneath. There's the competition caution. As we get ready for the second half, the Pro 2-wheel drive. Chad Horde's out in front of Keegan Kincaid and CJ Greaves. Those are your front 3 runners. We'll see how the second half goes after this.
I'm one of the owners for Total Chaos Fabrication. I'm also one of the drivers. We have to test our equipment. You have one opportunity to nab the money shot. I have to believe that it's going to be accessible and it's not going to fail on me. We'll travel with equipment like external WD hard drives. We have to trust that the equipment's going to protect our data. I have to believe in what I'm using and I have to have trust in it.
As the velocity of change in the world increases, so does the promise of opportunity. For over 86 years, we've stayed true to the belief that if you put quality in, you get quality out. No matter the job, our equipment is built for it. No matter the ask, our dealers are up for it. No matter the challenge, you'll be ready for it. Build on a company that's built for it.
And we're back here one more time as we get ready to take the green for the second half of Pro 2. I want to take a quick look at the front end of Keegan Kincaid's truck. There might be something wrong with that truck, as I don't know if it's an optical illusion per se, but it looked like he had a little bit of a toe in.
Might have had an on-track adjustment.
Oh, here we go with that restart. This is exactly what Keegan likes to do. If you watch the Pro Light Race, nice job by Kincaid, right in the back bumper of Chad Horde.
And once again, he gets a pretty good drive right in the middle. Looking for a mistake out of Horde. Horde's smart and takes that inside line, but look where. You go that far inside, it pushes you out, and that almost cost him, Scott.
Yeah, take a look at they got Barlow up there in the top 4, Ari Leindyke Jr. top 5, Nick Tyree.
Oh, there he goes on the inside. He's going to get a drive. Can he square it up and dive under him here, though? Look at that. Watch the 4 go to the inside. He's not
Big
getting the
push,
drive.
couldn't do it.
The holes. He got into the holes right where he needed the drive. But he's still putting the pressure on. Good seeing Steve Barlow.
He does. Look at the right front of Kincaid. He's got a toe-in issue. He's got handling issues in that number 4 Traxxas truck. There's probably a good maybe 2-inch toe-in on both the left and front tire.
So both of them you think are towed in. And that's going to make that truck kind of dart and be a little stabbier if that's the case.
Yeah, especially, no, watch the front tires, man. They just side to side, side to side, side to side like it's a sprint car.
But
look at that right front. It's not pointed straight at all.
I wonder what would cause both of them to do it, though. That'd be the question. But that's going to make that handling very choppy, very quick.
Really twitchy, dare I say?
Yeah.
There's a good shot of it right there. You can easily see that right front. Doing a heck of a job hanging on, though. But, man, the doors are opening. Chad Horde continually.
He likes that outside. He likes to keep the drive. Even though he's opened up the door, he knows it gives him the most momentum. See, I'm trying to look. He's all up in his grill. I can't even see. I'm trying to look at that toe. I'm looking at the toe camera. I'm looking at them all right now. Chad Horde going down that downhill. Look at him setting up on that far outside to take that inside into the left. Again, those are all downhill. A lot of weight on that front end, but also those outside tires.
You know, the other thing about Keegan he's battling right now is the fact if that truck truly is towed in, which it does look like it, when he takes off, it depends on which front tire is getting the traction because it's going to kick that truck off to the side. So he's not landing in a straight line. He's got battling a truck that when it takes off, it's landing at a kind of kittywampus angle. So Keegan's got a handful right now, but he's not going anywhere. As he's coming back time after time, especially in this corner right here on Chad Horde, who continually opens up the door, this time by not so much.
I wonder what the deal is, though, with CJ Greaves, who was very fast at the very first of this race. Was his truck set up better on that initial when it was slippery? Because he doesn't look necessarily the same. I mean, he's pulled on Barlow. Barlow's back in considerable in fourth, but he just does not look like the quick, speedy, I'm on top of this, I can win this thing that we saw earlier.
Yeah, there's Steve Barlow running the fourth spot right now. A little bit of a battle with Ari Lyondike Jr. running in that fifth spot. Now, that's how we were used to seeing that truck out of Ari's all tore up.
One point to mention, Ari Lyondike Sr. is here, you know, the Indy 500 winner, going to get inducted to the Motorsports Hall of Fame this weekend. So good to see Ari supporting his son, and then he gets on a plane in the morning and heads to Detroit.
I think he was at Prim. Yep. He hasn't been to a race since, but it's really, like you say, it's really nice to see him here.
I saw him in the parking lot last night. I said, hey, what's happening, old man? He's like, who are you talking to?
He's kind of like, hey, if I was there, so are you.
No, that's exactly what he said, right?
Chad Horde trying to stay tight to the inside. He knows that Keegan is quick because these guys are talking to their spotters. So they know exactly what's going on. And Ari pulls off the track. No. Ari Lyondike, you see in the background real quick, just pulled into the hot pit. So issues with him right now. So it looks like that. Oh, you know, I don't think CJ's truck is at 100%.
No. Keegan right there had a big-time falter. I don't know what happened. I thought he actually shut the motor off for a second. It looked like he just fell flat on his face. Oh, right rear. Right rear's
there
going
you go.
down.
Yep.
Right rear's done. He's going to be throwing that thing off. So 2 laps to go. The next time around, I believe they should get the white flag. So CJ gets a little gift of second place there if he can. He should. Yeah, it takes over second place for CJ Greaves.
I believe.
Next time around
green flag.
will be the white
I was
flag.
thinking maybe it might be a white flag this time by, but the green flag is still there. So it looks like that sidewall is already let loose on that right rear. So he's running on the inner liner now. It looks like the inner liner is ready to let loose as well. Man, tough break for Keegan in his first Pro 2 race ever.
Yeah, running up there with the big boys, going fast now. With only a lap and a half remaining, does CJ Greaves have enough time? Not unless Chad has a big mistake.
I don't think it's there unless, like you say, Chad has a problem. Like he, turn 1, sliding wide. On one of the uphills, sliding wide. That's what it's going to take.
This is round 11 here at Sturgis, the first day of 2. The last win for Chad Horde in the Pro 2-wheel drive was back at round 5 at Bark River, and before that, he won the first race of the year back at Prim.
Sounds like the white flag is coming out this time around. CJ, you know what? Never say never.
He closed in some.
Still a chance. Let's just throw it out there. As Chad Horde still maintains the lead, there's the white flag. CJ, his second race of the afternoon. Let's just say it's his second podium. Yeah. We could be seeing 3 chapters of history this afternoon.
Rocky.
Yeah.
Water, at least it's a cool day. It's not.
Whoa. Chad Horde right rear just slammed a rut, picked up that left front about 2 feet up into the air. This track is just getting ripped up right now.
Holding air and everything good. Bad.
Another
right there.
one, yeah.
When you hit those and you knock the tire off of the rim, you hit it that hard, it's going to happen. Care what brand of tire you use.
Yeah.
You hit it hard enough, you're going to separate it. Chad Horde on the Maxxis tires, by the way.
Going into that final corner, let's see. Yep, turn number 9.
You got it.
Final front straightaway. It looks like it's going to be the Boss Snowplow Ford with AMSOIL number 9. Chad Horde of Felch, Michigan will take the win. CJ Greaves will take second. 2 races, 2 podiums for that young man.
Yeah, good job by him, Chad Horde, pulling off the track. We'll step away as Chad Horde steps outside that Boss snowplow machine here at Sturgis. We'll be back in just a moment.
When you take that checkered flag and you're standing top on the box, you're proud to have AMSO on your shirt. But I tell you what, when you take that motor apart in the dyno room and you look at those bearings and you see how great they are, you're really proud to be an AMSO driver and to be representing a team that has product that's that good.
Welcome back here one more time. We're at the Battle at the Chip, the Buffalo Chip, right across the street. You can see the campers in the background to the far upper left part of the screen.
Just a few of the campers.
Yeah, it kind of goes way to the left, way to the left.
And in more pastures than I care to count.
Yeah. Oh, Chad Horde doing some victory donuts in front of the crowd. Yeah, he's kind of happy. He's doing exactly what he has to do to get back in the points chase.
Yes, sir. When we look at that points chase, he had a 29-point deficit behind C.J. Greaves. He's only going to make up a couple this time. But one DNF, somewhere could make all the difference in the world, and we've already seen that this year. Heck, we saw it happen with Chad Horde at Bark River. He went from first to worst. He had, a win on day 1 and then just a massive crash on day 2.
Well, as the guys make their way to the podium, let's talk about some of these guys here behind the scenes. Husqvarna is the world's largest producer of outdoor power products. Husqvarna offers a full line of lawn and garden equipment for the homeowner and the professional. Chainsaws, blowers, trimmers, lawnmowers, tractors, and zero turns. Husqvarna has everything you need to get the job done. Stop by the Husqvarna display area to find out how you can save 10% on your next purchase of Husqvarna outdoor power equipment. And Western Digital. Torc brings you closer to some of the biggest names and best trucks in off-road racing. Big things sometimes come in the smallest of packages. With a My Passport drive from Western Digital, you can store your life's biggest moments on a portable drive that fits in your hand. Follow at Western Digital and tweet using the hashtag #WhatDrivesYou for your chance to win a My Passport. Western Digital, absolutely. Hashtag #WhatDrivesYou. Hashtag #. Come on, man, really? Not a hashtag.
Yeah, Western Digital does.
Yeah, you got it, man.
Yeah. Tony Bachhoven checking us out. Going to be doing the pit reporting for the NBC Sports Network coverage tomorrow. And Tony was talking about, have you tested the wares here of Sturgis? Have you eaten anything? I tested a gyro. I don't know if I go to South Dakota to have a gyro, but
I was about to say, what?
It was a good one. It was a
For
good
real?
gyro. Yeah. And you know what song they were playing whenever I was eating it? Somebody was going, "There goes my gyro."
Oh. You know what? Take a look at that view right there. What a great shot of the pit area off to the, straight in front of us. See some of the fans are sitting in their lawn chairs, where it may be.
They're all over the place.
Yeah,
to
I mean,
left,
they're
to
all
the right.
on the hill behind us, kind of like Glen Helen during motocross days. Right. There's grandstands off to the right, just off the screen. But being told right now that the fans can bring their vehicles and park right where they're sitting today to watch tomorrow's racing.
That's cool. That'll be good.
Watch tomorrow's racing.
So tell your buddies you can bring your bikes. You can park right there.
Yeah.
You could sit on your bike, so you could have a seat. You don't even have to, haul a little chair.
We got a camera down there. Maybe we get the cameraman to kind of like walk to the crowd, check out some of these bikes.
Yep.
I had a chance to hang out with some of my guys. You know what? I'm going to interrupt myself and go right down to the podium as we've got Kelly Snyder with our winner. Kelly?
For the number, there we go. I've been waiting for that MC to kick on. What a great race that was for you, Chad. How tough was it out there? In the beginning, it was extremely muddy. Then it seemed to almost dry out, and there was a lot of dust to deal with, but you were in front. I don't think you had as much dust as the guys behind you.
Yeah, you know, this truck had a lot more in it, but the track was slick. You could only use so much of it. I just wanted to come blasting in them corners, but I went right off the edge. But these Maxxis tires just stuck themselves right to the track, and it's just awesome to get a win here in Sturgis for Boss Snowplow and Amsoil. And Amsoil's a big supporter here at the Sturgis event, and it's just great to win a race here for them. And it's just hats off to my crew between qualifying and the race here. We did some pretty big changes. I said, hey guys, we got a third place truck, we got to do something, and here it is. So
it paid off.
It sure did. But just, you know, just happy to be here in Sturgis. Thanks all the fans for coming out. Hopefully we can build this and make it something big, and we'll just keep this going. And you know, these Goodwin motors were tough to beat out there. Keegan and I were 1 and 2, and he ended up falling off, but we're pumped to be here.
Well, congratulations on that first place. We'll talk to you and the other two guys when we're on the podium.
Thanks a lot, Killian. And once again, congratulations to Chad Horde. That's about as animated as you're going to see that guy, even at the win, but except when his girls are out there racing their little short course karts.
Right. Yeah, and also he was talking about how slippery it was, and it's the rain stopped now, just to give you the weather update, and they're doing track preparations right now, but the weather has stopped. I think it's great grooming. I said, why bring out the water trucks when Mother Nature can do it for us?
Exactly, and that what gave us absolutely perfect track conditions this morning is it rained not heavy, but it's a little bit overnight, and which is what this track needed this morning. Practice was absolutely phenomenal. Qualifying was phenomenal. Then the sun came out a little bit. The wind kicked up a little bit, and you know, kind of took that away. So right now, once again, like I said, Pro 4, we should have perfect track conditions.
Yes, it should be. I mean, and Mother Nature taking care of the track. You see the Caterpillar stuff out there, taking care of their business, and we still have the water truck. So wet in all areas, but they're keeping it where they need.
How about Steve Barlow?
Yeah.
Was this his 4th podium of the year, I believe? I want to say it was a 3rd.
It seemed like he had 4 in a row, I thought.
Was it? I thought it was 3 in a row.
Yeah, 3 in a row. You're correct. Yeah, and the past 2 have been 4s. So, yeah, getting back up there again. When he'd just been off the podium the previous 2 races at our last stop. Let's go back down to Kelly Snyder, who's at the podium.
Well, guys, we're going to make this quick and get to those Pro 4s, but I'll jump up here first with Steve. What a race that was for you. This track seemed really one-lined. When did you know that Keegan had a flat and that you had to make the pass on him?
My spotter told me about 2 laps to go, and I'd lost my pulled my last tear off on the restart. CJ roosted me, and I went down the next corner, and I thought I had another one, and I didn't. I was like, you know, this is going to be a rough race without any tear offs. So I was just kind of hanging back, and then Keegan had some bad luck, and we were there to take it away from him. Once he said that, I kind of picked up the pace again and didn't matter if I could see or not. I was going to go catch Keegan down and run him down.
It's all about that podium spot. Talk quickly about how excited you've been to be racing at Sturgis. I know you were really looking forward to this.
Yeah, you know, Kat came to me and offered me this ride this year, and I couldn't have been happier, especially because this is one race that I really wanted to run. I can't wait to come back next year for the 75th. I think this thing's going to be off the hook. I mean, it is an awesome facility. There's just so many awesome people here that are learning what off-road racing is, and all our sponsors, you know, Caterpillar, Amsoil, Maxxis Tires, you know, Outdoor Energy, they're all going to be back here next year. We can't wait.
And we have to give Caterpillar a huge round of applause for this amazing track that they built here.
Yeah, this is the track that Kat built, so just remember that, guys. Tomorrow I'm winning.
Oh, CJ, he put the pressure on you. What do you have to say to that?
I didn't hear what he said.
Oh, he said, Kat built this track, so tomorrow it's on. He's winning this race.
Let's go.
I knew I could always get a rise out of CJ for that. What a race that was for you, from the Pro Lights to the Pro 2s. Maybe tell these new fans what the difference was for you out there on this track.
Yeah, you know, it's so much power in a Pro 2 compared to a Pro Light. We got a lot more tire, but we couldn't put it to use. Maxxis tires were hooking up. As you can see, it's a Maxxis sweep. But the track was slick, and we were all running the same line. And in the beginning, it was just tear-offs after tear-offs. And I think I had one left, and I kept saving it. And once I saw Keegan had a flat, I pulled it, and I was like, all right, I think I don't have anything for Chad anymore. So we have a strong truck, and we're going to put on a good race tomorrow. So can't do it without all my team, my family, the Lord for keeping me safe, Monster, Toyota, Maxxis, MagnaFlow, Method Race Wheels, Forest County Potawatomi, everyone that comes out here, all you Sturgis fans, I'm glad to be here, and hopefully we come back.
2 down, 1 to go.
Yeah, one more Pro 4. Hopefully we can be back up here. Maybe one step up.
There you go, guys. Give it up, CJ Greaves. That second place finish. And the guy on top. No dust, no real mud to worry about. You got out front, but talk about quickly that battle between you and Keegan. He really was putting a lot of pressure.
Keegan was, you know, he had an awesome race going, and I just kept waiting for my spotter to come on the radio and say, you know, CJ's 2 back, 3 back, but it was Keegan the whole time. Hats off to him. But just to be here on the podium again for Boston Snowplow, AMSOIL, and Maxxis Tires, and AMSOIL being so involved here in the Sturgis events, it's just great to get a win for them. And just want to thank all these Sturgis fans just for coming out. This is going to grow and get bigger and bigger, and we'll just keep putting on a show for you. And I just got to thank my crew. I couldn't do this without them, and just Torc did a great job with this track.
Well, thanks, guys. Let's give it up for our Pro 2 podium. Third place, Steve Barlow. Second place, CJ Greaves. He had to run to get into that Pro 4 truck. And the guy on top, Chad Horde.
Right now, we're missing one guy. Guess what? If we can get the
CJ,
camera to turn to the left a little bit, CJ is running over to the pits and jumping into Pro 4.
He has business to take care of. Chad Horde, all smiles.
Took a look at that.
He was expecting CJ to be there, but Keegan had a little something more for him.
How about that's a sharp-looking RC truck that Steve's got right there. I like that.
Yeah, his signature.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Are you selling those, Steve? Are you selling those? Or is it one-off? Chad, I am so telling Amy.
Chad's like, what are you talking about? What am I selling? He's selling snow plows.
Well, as the celebration continues with Chad Horde at the top spot, let's take a quick break. Let's step aside as we get ready for the last race of the afternoon, and it's Pro 4.
Fire and EMS professionals often use gas-powered tools and depend on this equipment to start when needed. That's why they use VP small engine fuel, formulated with no ethanol to prevent fuel system damage and ensure easier starts. It's designed for both 2- and 4-cycle engines. Try VP small engine fuels for your gas-powered tools so they'll start when you need them. Order online at homedepot.com or visit your local dealer.
And we're back as we get ready. You see some of the Pro 4s are getting belted up. I think those some of the camera guys, in-car cameras kind of adjusted for the last. I see Scott O'Connor down there, one of our GoPro guys.
And they get a lot of good GoPro footage for the television show you'll see on the NBC Sports Network, led by Tess Ohl, Grant Langston, Tony Bachhoven, and Christy Lee. Yeah, Pro 4 is about to hit the track. You see Adrian Cheney, the wild man in there, both Jenkins, both Greaves. It's gonna be special.
Well, once again, race fans, you can experience extreme radial control excitement with Traxxas. Traxxas offers nitro power, electric power, and the tire-melting X01 supercar with a top speed over 100 miles an hour out of the box. Traxxas is the fastest name in radial control. Traxxas trucks are ready to run with no assembly required. See action-packed videos and the full product lineup at Traxxas.com. That's TRAXXAS.com. Traxxas cars, trucks, boats, and helicopters are available at hobby stores worldwide. And don't forget about MagnaFlow. They're proud to be the official exhaust sponsor of the Torc Off-Road Series. At MagnaFlow, they are dedicated to building durable, quality products. Manufactured in the USA with cutting-edge technology and premium components, they produce exhaust systems that perform and sound great whatever you drive. Join Team MagnaFlow on Facebook and on Twitter. Well, whether you're a sponsor pro or a weekend warrior, VP Racing Fuels are purpose-built to grab the lead and keep you there. Extreme off-road conditions bring out the best in VP. VP Fuels make more power, are more consistent, and they're easy to find. For more information, visit vpracingfuels.com. Well, it's going to be real cool to see what the Pro 4's four-wheel drive can do on this racetrack. I can't wait to see Douglas pitch this AMSOIL Ford backwards into some of these corners.
Yeah, he's going to do it. I don't know that that'll be the fastest way around. I mean, I think there are places you're going to do that. I saw him in practice. Again, typical Douglas style, but not sure if that's going to be the fastest way around here. I'm curious to see CJ Greaves, who was fast out there with an individual qualifying time, how he's going to do racing against somebody else. But he's got the most track time of anybody on the course right now. He knows something in that first lap that nobody else does, and that's what it's like to start with all these cars side by side. He's done it twice.
It's going to be real interesting because we're going to see history for the first time short course off-road racing history where a single driver has been running in 3 pro classes, and he's not even
podiumed.
Not even 20 years old. Can't even go down the street and buy a six-pack.
And podium, and he's fast, and one of our top qualifiers due to the way that they drew for starting spots. He's going to start back a little ways, but yeah, that's going to be the big question. Is CJ was fast by himself. Now put him up there with the same talented drivers in a different truck. How is he going to be able to adjust? I think if he's going to make a move, I think he should do it early because he knows what the track. Don't give those guys time to feel it out.
Yeah.
You know? But if you're his dad and the guy's talking to him, they're probably going to tell him the opposite, don't you think? Take your time, feel the truck out, get that going. I hope I don't see that, CJ.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here's our lineup of the best Pro 4 drivers in the world. On the front row out of Plano, Texas. Driving the Traxxas Cooper Tires Amsoil number 47, that's Mike Jenkins. And this young man, I should say young man, but this gentleman out of St. John, Virgin Islands, New York City, or South Africa, wherever you want to be. He's driving the number 11 Realtree Outdoor Energy Drink 4-wheel parts, Bites, Beef Snacks. Number 11, it's the wild man, Adrian Cheney. In row 2, out of El Cajon, California, driving the number 7 Amsoil Boiler Exhaust Toyo Tire Ford, it's Scott Douglas. Outside of him, from Plano, Texas, driver number 2 in the JPR race team, driving for Traxxas Cooper Tire and Amsoil, number 25, Mark Jenkins. And race fans, this is where history is being made. Starting side by side as father and son, both from Abrams, Wisconsin. Driving the Monster Energy Maxxis Toyota number 33, CJ Greaves. Alongside of him, his father, also from Abrams, driving for Monster Energy Maxxis Toyota number 22, it's Johnny Greaves. In row number 4, from Holland, Michigan, one of the true independents out there on the racetrack, driving the Nitto Tire ATD Transmissions number 10 Toyota, Ross Hook. Alongside of him, out of Columbus, Ohio, driving for Popcorn Sutton's White Whiskey, Realtree Outdoor Energy Drink, the number 5 of Mark Kwame. And how about this? The man is back from Cherry Valley, California, driving for Ultra Wheels, Skyjacker Suspensions, and Cannon Filters, number 43, it's Kurt Leduc. Green flag is out.
Look like Jenkins with a good start on the inside. Cheney's going to be on that outside where we saw a lot of drive. But these are Pro 4-wheel drives, and Jenkins goes off the track. Mike Jenkins off, and out in front is Douglas. But look at that, it's Jenkins' brother on the inside.
Almost like Moses parting the waters. Jenkins inside and outside, and Douglas went right in the middle.
The deuce up into second. Johnny Greaves now on that Monster Toyota into second. But look at the 25 trying to hold him off. Mark Jenkins out in front. The inside line, this is Pro 4-wheel drives. They're digging with 4 tires now.
Now keep in mind, you've got a 6-speed manual transmission in, 5-speed manual transmission to Johnny Greaves.
Whoa!
Meanwhile, Jenkins stalls it.
It's going to be ugly.
You lose 1, 2, 3 spots. Ross Hook moves up.
Yeah, Ross Hook with Adrian Cheney just behind him, and you see CJ in the rear view as well. Johnny's not one to wait around, is he?
No, in fact, I see cosmetic damage in the right rear, but before I saw that, I saw a little bit of smoke in that same spot. You saw it right there. Something may have happened in that little bit of contact with Jenkins.
He may be rubbing whenever the tire compressor or the tire and the body and the suspension go down. The tire might be making a little bit of contact.
Even the Ross Hook goes up and over the board. He's off the track. I was about to say the Pro 4s are even tiptoeing through turn 1.
They're used to getting the grip, and it's not really there. They need to make that adjustment. You can't go in as hard as you think and pull yourself out of it. I don't think, just like we heard in the interviews on the podium, they don't have enough to grab to there. It's still a little slippery. Mike Jenkins, again, you see him trying to get those inside lines. Just in front of him, Scott Douglas in that Amsoil number 7. Oh!
There's a rut there. Cheney, where'd he come from? He was in the infield. Now, he tried to use the inside line that was off the track and use it as a berm, as a banking, like, say, Talladega.
We saw guys do that with the right front, but not both right sides.
Yeah. Douglas, Mike Jenkins. I believe that's Cheney right behind him. Meanwhile, Johnny's checked out. He was unstoppable time-wise in practice and qualifying both yesterday and today. Actually, that's Mark Jenkins running in that 4th spot. 5th is Adrian Cheney. Now, there's an urgency for the Jenkins boys and Cheney. They got to start working their way forward. It's that competition yellow that is the X factor right now.
I thought you were looking at his series points. I was like, no, series points right now, 34 differential between Mark Jenkins and Johnny Greaves. And Johnny has a, has a comfortable lead, but he was not comfortable there. He's trying to dip his wheels on the inside. I think it's all right when you have one and you do it at the end of that turn. They're coming in way too hard early with both wheels off, and that makes for a perfect bicycle. It's a ramp, basically.
There's a lot of deep ruts forming, and keep in mind, that's no fault of the... Oh, baby!
Cutting it a little too inside. Maybe he was being a little too nice to his brother. Yeah. Mark Jenkins on the inside gets that tire.
I just think he's being a little bit too aggressive right now. He was just heavy on the throttle, tight to the inside. He's got to kind of like take a quick, deep breath and kind of collect himself a little bit.
Well, right now, Adrian Cheney trying to collect him. Out of the two, Mark or Mike, who would you think is more aggressive day in, day out?
Oh, geez, Mark all day long. And I'm sure I'm going to hear
Mike.
About that.
Michael coming in. What are you talking about, man? It's all good. Two Texas boys fighting it out. One could have a different attitude.
Well, they got the same attitude, but the thing is, it's when it comes to them two racing each other,
yeah,
they threw the gloves. I don't even think they put the gloves on. They just start swinging.
Four-wheel parts truck back there in fifth is Adrian Cheney trying to get by these two Traxxas trucks, Mike and Mark Jenkins.
Douglas, a pretty sizable advantage over that battle for third, fourth, and fifth. He's running in second. Oh, they're 3 wide going into turn number 9.
It looked like
Cheney on the inside. Look out.
Yeah, Cheney had that position, but when you're inside like that, you're not necessarily going to get the drive. That was the case. Cheney still has to drop back to fifth.
But Mark did get around Mike on that corner, so here comes Cheney on the inside on turn number 1. Stab that brakes. It looks like they may be catching Douglas again.
Cheney looks fast in that first right-hand turn. I think if nobody's there, I'm curious to see how fast he would be. But it seems like he has to check up every time.
I mean, he wants to dive into the corners harder than what he is. That's his driving style. And because of the traffic, he's not being allowed to, or he can't.
Which may be a good thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes Adrian Cheney's his own worst enemy. And he's a guy who really likes to go wide open, jump into the turn sideways, and you don't have that here all that often.
That's one thing about this racetrack. You're starting to see the talent. It brings that talent of the drivers to the surface. You know, and that's what's neat about this. This is a track that's different than anywhere else in the circuit. We don't have this kind of track anywhere. Douglas may be slowing. He's uncharacteristically kind of slowing down right now.
Oh, that could be trouble. If he checked up a little bit, he was going to get brought around quickly. Mark Jenkins all over him. Look at the 20, and in case... I don't know. I don't think so, but it's going to be slippery because the rain is starting to come back down again and raining a little bit heavier. You can see the rain in the picture there now as well out there on the track. These are four-wheel drives, so they will be able to scratch and claw a little bit more than those twos, but still, you can see the rain starting to come down from our shot. Adrian Cheney still taking that inside two-wheel approach.
Yeah, in every corner.
Whoa.
Oh, man, yeah.
This is going to get good.
What I tell you about Mark, what I tell you.
Yeah.
He is aggressive right now. He wants that second spot before the competition yellow.
And we're not seeing Douglas pitch it in like we said. I didn't say this is not a track for that. And he's making adjustments as well.
And there's the competition yellow. Mark Jenkins couldn't make the pass on Douglas before they got to the flag. Johnny Greaves has got the lead. Mike in the fourth spot, Adrian Cheney in the top 5. Let's step aside for a quick break as we'll come back to the green flag for the second half of Pro 4.
When adventure calls, count on the Trail Grappler to get you to your destination, wherever that may be. Large, innovative tread blocks provide additional biting edges to help you command the most challenging terrains as you discover new trails. The Trail Grappler's 3-ply sidewall and thick rubber construction aids puncture resistance and provides durability when you need it most. Nitto Trail Grappler, where road meets trail.
What is it that makes a Husqvarna dealer a Husqvarna dealer? Well, Just look close at the engineering in our outdoor power equipment. We're known for high performance and reliability in everything we make. So is it any wonder your Husqvarna dealer is also known for high performance and reliability in everything they do? With a nationwide network of Husqvarna dealers, there's one just around the corner.
Green flag is out as they head to turn 1. Grease, Douglas, Mark Jenkins, Mike Jenkins, Adrian Cheney.
And you did not miss a thing except for a pass right there by Mark.
12.5 inches wide are the tires. Douglas was 12.5 inches away from going over the edge.
Look at Mark Jenkins. He's aggressive now. He knows that Johnny just checked out that first half. Now we'll see with him in second. This is what he was wanting, right? He didn't get the initial pass on the leader, but he's in second right off the start.
Oh, look at him. Grease goes wide. Just for a moment, the door was open.
Douglas did a little bump and run on Mark Jenkins as well.
You know, all three of these drivers have a history of racing against each other. Douglas and Mark Jenkins in particular, going back about 3 years now.
Look at that wide line. And what his history said, Johnny Greaves has won more than he's lost.
Well, yeah, but the conflict, words have been exchanged, body parts have been exchanged, contact quite a bit. Oh, boy. Mother Nature is cheering us on right now.
Yeah, rain's starting to come down, and separation a little bit between second and third. Mark Jenkins now capped himself from Scott Douglas, the number 7 Amsoil truck, dropping back just a tad. You've seen some different lines between first and second. Johnny's actually been taking, and you don't typically see this, he's been taking some wider lines, and you usually don't open the door, but he thinks that that's the fastest way around the track right now.
He likes to take those rear tires on the right rear, left rear, where those corners are, and just put them right there on that berm and ride around, just like sprint cars. He likes to do that, and that's actually the fast way for him. That's how he sets that truck up. And the tire groupings even.
Look at CJ still in the mix there, racing it out with Adrian Cheney. And remember, this is a kid who's just testing the waters, because we're going to see him at those last 2 rounds at Crandon. I have a feeling we're going to see him there in the Pro 4 as well.
And the thing is, the tires that that CJ's running on, talking to Johnny earlier today, those are the same tires. They've never been changed from all the testing they've done from when CJ ran the truck
so
at Crandon.
Not giving him the good stuff?
No, he's running on used tires from way back at Crandon when he ran in practice and qualifying. The same tires.
Come on now.
No, I'm dead serious. That's what, yeah.
Hey, if you're feeling it out, you might as well get a feel for what it's like and not waste the money, too, when you're just in that feel-out stage. But, yeah, he looks very competitive. As we see Johnny Greaves out in front, the 22, the series points leader in this Pro 4-wheel drive division.
Oh, man.
He keeps taking those outsides.
It's like the ruts, though, the bumps, the holes are forcing him. He's trying to stay inside, but they're forcing him. He's bouncing through them, and he bounces all the way to the outside.
Scratching and clawing by Mark Jenkins, 25 in second. It's Scott Douglas in third. There's the race for fourth. Mike Douglas, Adrian
looks like a
Cheney,
little smoke
CJ.
coming out of the back of CJ's truck.
Never good.
Boy, I'm wondering, does Mark have anything for Johnny right now?
Dude, he's hooked up on those insides.
Yeah.
So there's the thing. You give Mark Jenkins that many insides, he's going to take it one of them because he is actually hooking up pretty well. He for a little drier track condition.
Yes. Jenkins, for a moment, set that truck up very early for the corner, had the inside line, but Johnny found the traction on the outside.
I think Jenkins is better on the dry slick, slippery inside turns. When it's got that fluff and it's still inside, I don't think it's as fast. But when it's slippery, he takes that inside and hooks
there
up.
it is. See, he kicked Johnny the outside. Again, kicked him the outside. He's trying to keep it tight, but yeah.
Factor of the tire. I think that tire of Jenkins works better on the dry slick on the insides. Right here. Here's another one. Oh, he just missed it. He missed the turn.
Just a few laps remaining this time by. I'm not exactly sure if we're going to see the white flag yet or not. Greaves is working. There's no doubt about it. Johnny's got a huge push going into the corner. The door's open. Can Greaves get the bite out of the corner? It does. He redeems himself. If Jenkins was close enough, that was the spot for the pass. Again, Greaves bounces like a rock skipping over the water. He'll go to the outside. continually opening up the corners to the inside. Again, here comes Jenkins. They're side by side going down the hill. In the left-hand corner, Greaves jumps the left rear tire of Jenkins. And we've got a brand new leader. Jenkins is right there.
This is a race we've been waiting for, and it's happening right now. Now let's see if Johnny has anything. If the outside's working, he's trying to go to the inside now. Look at this. He's set up, all four wheels digging side by side. It doesn't get any closer.
Jenkins, I believe, is a left rear flat tire. Keep it on that left rear tire.
Oh, he pushes big time. Now he gets in. Next time around, we're going to see the white flag. Look, this is the last turn, and they're going to see white out in front of them.
I believe that left rear's going down, still on that inner liner. There still may be air in that tire.
There it is, white flag. Who do you think has the flat?
Jenkins, our leader at left rear. Keep on that left rear as he bounces through that rough part of that racetrack. Now coming in a right-hand turn.
Yeah, compared to Greaves, it definitely looks low. Oh, there goes Greaves.
Turn again, the door's open.
Look at that.
Oh, Johnny had to correct. He had to correct the truck because again, he got kicked to the side.
In the 25 of Mark Jenkins looked like he was in a mid-turn whoop section right there. That suspension just fighting underneath him.
Johnny's good. He's talented enough of a driver. He can just slightly tap. Oh yeah, it's down.
Yeah,
the left rear's going down.
He's got to get close enough because it's the last turn coming up. There's only one right-hand turn.
Big push.
He's not close enough though.
Johnny's talented enough where he can slightly, just gently touch that rear bumper. Upset, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. The checkered flag is waving. The Traxxas number 25 of Mark Jenkins will take the win. Johnny Greaves second. Wait. Are they slowing down?
He has raced through the checkered flag. Remember we
and
heard
then
that?
some, man. And then some. How about that?
He knew the tire was going down, and he was not going to back off to the checkers. What a race. Though.
Man, I haven't seen Johnny work that hard in a long, long time.
And I thought he had it, too. With 3 turns left, I thought Johnny was going to do it with that tire going down, but he made one bobble 2 turns from the end, and that caused him.
Nice job by our top 2 guys. We kind of lost track of who was running in that 3rd spot. Oh, yeah, there's going to be some partying in the Traxxas pit area tonight. No doubt. Now, again, race fans, don't go anywhere. You know what? Now's the time to meet the drivers, meet the crews, get their pictures, get their autographs. This is the best part. Okay, that's the best part of racing right there. But this is the best part.
One thing we want to remind everybody also is there's a full day of racing tomorrow. This is day 1 of 2. The 11th stop of Torc, the Off-Road Championship tomorrow. So all you bike guys, bring your bike. You don't even have to bring a chair. You can stay sitting on it right down there in the parking lot and watch us tomorrow at 3 o'clock here in the afternoon.
There's, as they make their way to the podium, this is going to be a good interview. Mark is a great guy for one-liners, and I can't wait to hear what he has to say on the podium. Johnny, the same.
What's Johnny going to say for knowing he came? You know that's ticking him off. But he ran hard. He ran hard the entire time, and nothing to be ashamed of. And what a podium. We're going to hear from him. Kelly making her way that side now. We're going to step aside and come. When we come back, we'll hear from the Pro 4-wheel drive podium right after this.
We had these torrential downpours, and these trucks are not designed to have another 2,000 pounds of mud put on them. And then you pack the radiators tight. The tranny gauge, the water gauge, the oil gauge, everything's pegged. The Amsoil product came through for us and kept the rear end, the transmission, and the engine all running fine. And I tell you what, we were ready to go for the next day and pretty proud of it.
Traxxas, the fastest name in radio control.
And let the party begin. Our top 3 guys are down there at the side of the track as we got Kelly Snyder ready to interview our top 3.
Yeah,
Kelly?
I think she gets to stay at the trucks. No, don't have to get them flogged and wet. They can stay inside the trucks and do the interviews. But yeah, Scott Douglas going to finish 3rd, Johnny Greaves 2nd. And what a run by Mark Jenkins.
Yeah. For all the fans that are exiting and making their way through the pit area back to their vehicles, we're going to be doing this all over again tomorrow. Hopefully a little bit better weather. Starting at everything's the same. Mirrors today, except tomorrow. Bring your bikes in and park them right where you were seated today for racing. So it's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow if we get a little. We're supposed to have better weather.
Another thing also they were talking about, tomorrow they're talking about having a land rush start. So they didn't want to do it today. Let the guys get used to the track. Also don't want to tear up any of the equipment. But watch the land rush start. If you haven't seen it, and if they do it tomorrow, it is truly a spectacle.
That's what put this sport on the map, is that land rush start.
And if you don't know what land rush start is, they're going to start up here at the top of the hill side by side and take off all at the same time, not 2 by 2 working through the field.
They'll start, the pro lights will start, I believe.
20 some odd trucks?
Yeah, 22 trucks. So they'll probably start maybe 18, 16 wide
front
with the second row, yeah.
And then you still have 20 in the Pro 2, I think, that we saw just a bit ago, right around there.
So we'll start single file line, or sorry, side by side all the way across. So, yeah, Mother Nature kind of took care of us today, but then again, kind of kicked us in the keister at the same time.
I think it's nature's little track groomer.
Yeah, but keep in mind, we've had a fantastic year. We haven't had this problem all summer long, and you know what? I don't know if it's because you're with us here for the first time this year or what, but we've had fantastic weather.
I thought they called you the weather fairy.
You
always bring sunshine wherever you go, right?
Really?
Yeah.
It's more like rain, rain, go away.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Just so you know.
Well, it's working
Raindrops
here.
keep falling on my head.
Hey, I'm ready to go see some Motley Crue tonight. Ready to check it out. I know there was a lot of Zach Brown.
That was last night.
Fan last night.
Yeah, I
they
guess
were
it was
tearing
fantastic. Yeah.
Heard it was crazy.
But we're close enough to the chip we can actually hang out in the pits and listen to the band.
Yeah, so
Not a problem.
actually, if there's anybody from the chip, I would love to have backstage access. You hear that, BJ Burtwell?
Oh, yeah, Ted Nugent's here tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah. Maybe he'll do a hunting or a demonstration for us. He can
light an arrow on fire and fling it over here towards the racetrack from the stage.
That'd be cool. A flare. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors to help make this event possible. Without them, this event would not be possible, whether it be CAD or AMSOIL.
Yeah.
Or all of our
I was
tire
hoping some of the guys, I
manufacturers.
think the weather kind of kept them down there in the pits. I was hoping to have Jeremy Meyer from AMSOIL up here.
Well, we saw he was butt slapping his guys down there, so we know he's here. But we saw him doing the good game on the back pocket to a couple of guys.
Jason Becker's here from Caterpillar. So it sounds like Kelly's got our top 3 finishers down at the track. Kelly, take it away, girl.
Baby. Great day. Hey, who doesn't like to play in the mud? Traxxas does. Cooper tire, way to rock it onto the box. Johnny got a little bit wide. We kept her true and motoring.
You want to come talk to me?
No, I'm scared of heights, Kelly.
It will sound a lot better if you use the microphone. Congratulations, Mark. That was one extremely hard-fought battle there. Congratulations, you and Johnny. What was that like out there on the track for the first time?
You know, Kelly, I feel like today is kind of a graduation day. Johnny's been in a league of his own for years and years, and it's good company to keep with he and Douglas up here. Congrats to those guys. You know, these Cooper tires just dug in the wet weather and got this badass Traxxas machine to the top step. Thank you, Gentech Water Treatment, AMSOIL, Traxxas, Fox Shocks, Cooper Tires, Impact Safety, and my lovely hot wife. Come here. Say hi, honey. Lucha. Jack, we miss you, buddy. Mimi, Papa, thank you for watching him.
Well, guys, that's a great way to end this Pro 4. Congratulations on that win.
All right. Thank you, Kelly. Hope to see you tomorrow.
Sounds good. We're going to move on over. Give it up one more time. Mark Jenkins taking the victory. But we're going to step on over and grab the guy in second place. Johnny, did you expect this man to come up there and make those passes on you like he did?
Well, you know, Mark's always runs hard, and, you know, I kind of screwed up when I got a good lead in the beginning, and then it started raining, and I used off all my tear-offs just trying to see, and then, you know, once it kept raining, it was blurry, and I'm sure we all deal with the same thing, but, as soon as he put that move on me and splattered me, I was done. I couldn't see anything. So congratulations to him and their team. He drove a great race, and I just want to thank all the fans for coming out here for their first time. Buffalo Chip for letting us put it on, and all my sponsors, Monster, Toyota, Maxxis, MagnaFlow, Fox Shock, Amsoil, all these guys. And, tomorrow's another day.
Yeah, and tomorrow, one of your favorite bands, I heard, Florida Georgia Line, is going to be playing over there at the Chip, too. So you get to experience racing and the concerts.
Oh, yeah, we'll be there for sure.
Well, congratulations on your second, guys. Give it up for Johnny Greaves. Hard-fought battle. And we'll move on over to the guy in third, Scott Douglas. What a race that was going on in front of you. Were you trying to get up there in the mix, or were you just trying to stay back and let what happened happen?
Well, I was in it until I fell back, but they did a great job. Congratulations to Mark. Made a great move on me down here. And, yeah, those guys were running really good. Once the rain started, I don't know, I just fallen back. I thought we had pace with Johnny in the first half, but the second half we fell back. But, this Amsoil Walker Evans Racing Borla exhaust truck just ran really, really good. The crew did a great job. And this track is really, really challenging. I mean, it is nuts out here with the uphill and downhill and all the holes. And it's just really tight, and you got to be careful. But hats off to Johnny and to Mark, and thanks to Amsoil, and like I said, Toyo Tire and Mastercraft, all my sponsors.
Well, Amsoil is the official oil of Sturgis, so what a great way to celebrate that with off-road racing here as well.
Absolutely, and Amsoil is on my door, but Amsoil is also inside of these two trucks too, so it's a full Amsoil sweep on the podium.
Well, congratulations, Scott Douglas, on that third place finish, and let's hear it one more time for our Pro 4 podium. Scott Douglas, Johnny Greaves, and the guy on top, Mark Jenkins.
Scott looks quite the Amsoil model there, doesn't he? First up against it.
He is probably one of the most prolific drivers off the track when it comes to sponsors. Scott really knows how to work them.
Yeah, he does good. And what a race today, Mark Jenkins taking that final race of the afternoon in the Pro 4s. That was the way you wanted to cap it off at round 11, but we still have round 12 tomorrow.
I haven't seen Johnny Greaves work that hard for a second place in a long, long time. I don't think I've ever seen him work that hard for a win in the past.
Yeah.
That was a great race, bar none. And it was all, they raced the track and they were racing each other. That was the cool part.
That's Mark Jenkins' third victory of the season. Johnny's still well ahead of Mark in the series points, probably around 30 now after today's race. But it kicked it off the Pro Lights. It started off, with an awesome race. The Pro 2, the Pro 4s. For it being a virgin track and nobody being out here, I mean, I think it's cool. I think it's good.
Yeah.
It has its nuances. You just have to make adjustments, just like that first turn.
Well, and the thing is, too, I've been to a lot of first-time events where it was a brand-new track, brand-new facility, whatever it may be. And this was easily the best track conditions we've had at any first-time event. I mean, keep in mind that traditionally it takes dirt like this, once it's been raced on, to sit for a year or two to actually come together, kind of mature as a racetrack and hold together on racing conditions.
Yeah, and today it's going to, a lot of times we may have to deal with dust and stuff like that. It's not black gumbo. It's black in color, but it is a little softer than you would think. I think the rain's only going to help it. It's raining a little bit less than it was. I think the rain's only going to help it. They're going to churn it up, and they're going to get ready. And tomorrow will be another day. Will we get to see the Land Rush start?
Oh,
they may not. Yeah, I'm hoping they are. It's definitely narrower, but it also kind of gets them built into that mode for Crandon, which we'll see in about 3 weeks from now, where we know we'll see a Land Rush
Labor Day weekend. Yeah, and the cool part about this Land Rush is that it's for a plateau. You jump off a hill, and the whole time you're going at the crowd. You're coming right, and that's a neat concept. You talk about the weather. I just heard that the track workers want to get on the track, start working ready for tomorrow. Jeff Nordstrom said, no, let's take a break. Let's see what Mother Nature's going to do, kind of watch. So
that's different.
What a great day. I mean, there's a lot of anticipation. I think the track conditions were the big story. CJ Greaves made history. So close to really, really making it by being on the podium 3 times in 3 different classes on the same day. But you know what? Never before has one driver been in 3 pro classes on the same day.
And there's always tomorrow. This Battle of the Chips has been a good one, and we kicked it off with the Pro Lights. Jarrett Brooks with a victory, Chad Hort in the Pro 2s, and, of course, Mark Jenkins in the Pro 4-wheel drives. It's raining, but those guys want to get their podium shot up there on the victory podium. So we get to re-rack them, restack them again tomorrow. they're going to probably make some adjustments, I'm sure, in the field and get ready for tomorrow's race.
Well, yeah, and you see, look at that. Scott Douglas is smiling. Obviously, Mark Jenkins is. I'm waiting for Johnny to see what his expression is. I'm thinking that he might be pretty happy also. And look at Taylor's
cold.
Yeah, Taylor's like, my hair.
Traxxas, you know it's cold, right, Taylor? Right? She was wearing a coat earlier.
She may live in the Dallas area now, but she's from Southern California, San Diego area. I do not like the rain.
Yeah, she acts like she's all tough.
Oh, by the way, you're going to see her on, I think, Taylor. Listen, Taylor, can you hear us? Are you on the next episode of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleader thing? Yeah, she is. You'll see her on the next episode of that. So
talk to her about that.
Mark, don't get wet. Don't get wet. Where's Johnny at?
He's back in the pits. He's still lamenting what could have been if he'd have held on for another lap and a half. And with that tire going down, Mark's just happy it ended that way because I really thought Johnny had a chance.
Yeah.
With about 3 turns left, and you knew that tire was down, and Johnny liked those momentum things, and you know that Mark was going to take every inside line he could to make him go the long way around the track.
As aggressive as Mark was being, he was still ran a clean race.
Oh, yeah. No,
it was a clean. These trucks, all these trucks were bouncing sideways through the corners, inside, outside, didn't matter.
There you go.
He still, all these guys ran a clean race. They weren't taking each other out.
No.
And they could have a lot of different times.
And I don't know why, but I do know that that Mark, he's Cooper tires what he's using, but on the inside lines when it was dry slick, I thought he was quicker. I thought he was able to make some of those inside lines work. And maybe sometime your tires, you just got it right, and you find where it works the best. But if he goes back and watches it, I bet you a lot of those inside lines, you see that he's clawing for traction, and his particular tire, the way he had it cut, whatever it was working and pulling on the inside. And you know if you're pulling on the inside, you're cutting off time because the shortest way to each distance from point to point is that lower line.
Well, the telltale sign will be about this track is when we go back into the pits now, and let's go look at some of these tires that are coming as they come off these race trucks. How they'll be ripped up, they'll be shredded.
Right.
Yeah, the treads will be chunking off.
You can only test with how soft a tire you could go, and you get too soft, and you start
losing
losing that.
Check
edge.
this out. There's Jeff Nordstrom. That's the track builder. He's a track designer. Big kudos to that guy right there. He's been living here. I think he may have even changed his home address to Sturgis recently because he spent so much time here. So congratulations. I think that was B.J. Burtwell right there.
Right. Yeah, a great job with the track. I like seeing the off-cambers, the on-camera stuff, the uphill, the downhill. They have plenty of land here to work with. I don't know how much they gave them, but, I mean, they used it to the utmost. And I think they'll make changes even for next year if we come back. I mean, there's some turns like some of these off-cambers will be nice seeing an off-camber going into a bowl turn. I mean, we're like, it'd take a lot of dirt, but this last left-hand turn, Grant's like, dude, I'd love to see that cut into the mountain a little more and make it a wall so you have an inside and an outside line. Just, something they may make adjustments for next year.
Well, it's going to be kind of neat to see what we're going to see tomorrow with the track conditions, with the Mother Nature gives us tonight. So once again, we'll be doing it all again tomorrow. We'll be around 12 here at the Battle at the Chip, Sturgis, South Dakota. We are just across the road from the Buffalo Chip. And you know what? I think it's 3 o'clock local time. We'll be going live streaming. We want to thank everyone for tuning in, especially our troops all across the globe, whether inside our borders or someplace across the world. We want to thank you guys. Hope you had a great time. And, once again, on behalf of myself, Scott Rain, and Robbie Floyd, and Kelly Snyder down at the side of the track, we hope you guys had a great time. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back again tomorrow, 5 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Mountain, and that would be 4 o'clock Central. So once again, had a great time. There's a closing shot. We'll see you guys again tomorrow afternoon.